Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ring Post Radio, the only podcast that takes their job seriously. I'm your host, Ryan Knightsey, and with me, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, Scotty Edwards. Scotty, how are you doing on this fine Sunday morning?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful today.
Mhm.
I don't have any bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just here. I'm
I
just
know,
here.
we got a lot of stuff to talk about today, so I'm sure it's good to hear that you don't have any bits to start off this.
Yeah. No bits, nothing. It's been a long week. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, did you talked about last week how you started watching movies? Did you watch any movies this week?
I did.
This,
I
this of
actually
course
went.
piqued my interest because I watched I think 4 or 5 movies this week.
Oh, damn! I inspired, huh?
Mhm.
I watched.
I know you and I are both pulling up our various apps.
I saw. I saw the new Formula One movie.
Okay,
This
okay.
week.
I genuinely want to know. Was it good?
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I think it
Okay,
would make anyone want to watch Formula One, quite frankly, which I think is probably the point of said movie. It's
sure.
also by the guy that did Top Gun Maverick, so like
Yeah.
the driving scenes are really cool and
Okay.
like very strong to follow. So yeah, I enjoyed that.
I was in like various, theaters watching various movies this year,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah,
and
that was always
so
up.
I saw that trailer 1 billion times probably, and I was like,
Yeah,
I don't know. It feels like this movie will be good. It's Brad
yeah,
Pitt. It's
I like
it's
Brad Pitt a
ours.
lot.
Yeah, Brad Pitt's
So that
good.
helps. I like Brad Pitt, especially when Brad Pitt plays the old guy now. I always like when he plays the old guy. I
I
think he's
feel
the
like
best in that role.
Brad Pitt peak at it when he's young, right? And then I think there was like a little bit of like a lull,
Yeah,
a lull for a Brad Pitt standard, right?
yeah, for sure.
And then now he's old man Brad Pitt to a certain
Mhm.
degree. It's like, all right, we're locked back in.
We're back locked in, like old man Brad Pitt. Because all I ever think about with old man Brad Pitt is like I feel like they kind of put him in the role about a decade ago, and he's just kind of settled in.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like
yeah.
now he's actually old. Like I feel like he wasn't even old when they were starting to do it with him. Like Moneyball, he was older. Um, what's the one with that Tarantino did? Oh, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like he was
Yeah,
kind of young but also old.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like you're the stunt guy, but you're. I liked him in that, and I really liked him in this. So yeah, that's my main movie this week. I watched some like old stuff that I've just seen before, but
What'd you
nothing.
watch?
I watched the Star Wars: The Clone Wars animated movie because I wanted to watch the series again.
Is that the one that's like animated differently? It's like a different animator.
Um,
Is it
it's
you know what I'm talking about?
it's the one that just leads into the TV show,
Oh, okay. Then I don't know
the
what you're talking
Clone
about.
Wars TV show. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people watch the movie because they just watch the show,
Yeah,
the animated show.
yeah.
That's the reason I watched the movie. The movie's fine. Um, I think I saw Lilo and Stitch last week, right? Did I say that?
I think so. Did
Let's
you
see,
see?
yeah.
I think I saw somewhere to this week that they're planning on doing Lilo and Stitch 2.
Yeah, and I said to myself, "What does that mean?"
Like, my immediate reaction was
So they
like the straight to DVD sequel, Lilo and
right, like,
Stitch
are they
2?
gonna so they're doing, like, Stitch the movie? Because Stitch the movie is when they introduce, like, the family, like, the cousin
Mhm.
aspect, but those are all s like you said,
Was
straight to
because it's 6 it
DVD.
was 627 or something was the next alien
Yes,
movie.
yes, and there's technically, like, 625 before him, so
Yeah.
I was like, alright, man."
I thought it was a good TV show.
Um
I thought it was a good premise for a TV
I
show.
didn't watch this week, but I do wanna get this off because I need to say it. I rewatched the, original Fantastic Four movies ahead of the new one
Okay,
coming out.
yeah.
I loved them when I was a kid.
Me too.
Boy, oh boy, they are rough now. I
The
was
nostalgia doesn't quite hold up, does it?
I loved them when I was a kid. I was like, "These are the shit," and rewatching, I'm like and I was like, "I hate Reed Richards," and I don't think that's the point, but I hate him in this. I was like, if they make me hate Pedro Pascal, that's his name. Is that his name?
Pedro Pascal.
Pascal.
You gotta
Yeah.
hit that cow a
He's the
little
new
bit
one.
more.
Yeah, my bad. If they make me hate him, then we're gonna have a problem. Um, But yeah, I watched them ahead of time, and I was like, well, there's not that high of a bar to reach. So congratulations to Marvel. I did not watch the one that they did the remake with Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan.
I still have not seen that
I
one.
saw it once in my life. It's worse than these two, and these two are not good. So
Yeah.
that's
I don't think there's nothing that can get me, I think, to go see that movie.
no, 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 definitely don't. Yeah, I like to rewatch things ahead of time to see what am I preparing myself for, and I have prepared myself for Fantastic Four to be fantastic,
Yeah,
literally.
I have a lot of big hope for that movie, and obviously, I think I have a lot of hope for Superman. I expect
Yes, I'm
Superman to
excited
be
about Superman.
great. That's my expectation.
Yeah,
Coming off of
James
James
Gunn gives
Gunn
me
with
hope.
Guardians of the Galaxy series, uh,
Mm,
you just kind of have to be like, all right, this has to be. It also has to be great, especially for Warner Brothers and DC. It has to be a great movie.
yeah, yeah. So I've never seen a Superman movie I've walked away being like, "Wow, that was great." In
Sure.
my life, Man of
Yeah.
Steel was. I didn't mind Man of Steel, but like for what people want Superman to be, I don't think I've seen. I guess like if you go back to the old ones, people love those, but
Yeah.
like,
I
yeah,
don't have the feeling. I never really had the Superman
no,
feeling because it was
no.
what Superman Returns with Brandon Routh.
Oh my
Uh,
god, I saw that in theaters with my
Me
dad.
too.
It's like awful,
Remember
awful
the
movie.
bullet bounces off his
Yeah,
eyeball?
yeah, yeah.
That's the only thing I
Um,
remember for that movie.
yeah, like Superman, I've never had the connection with. So, and I didn't even mind what's his name as Superman. I just don't like Zack Snyder.
Henry Cavill.
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought he was actually decent at it, but I like the new guy based on what I've seen.
Yeah,
So,
I'm excited for that. I really want that movie to be great. I obviously want Fantastic Four to be fantastic. I think Marvel more so than anything. I think it's interesting because it's like they have two movies. And really think both studios need it to like if it was separate, if it was
mm,
like Marvel didn't exist and DC went through everything they
yeah,
went through and they needed this, they need that movie to be successful. If DC
right.
wasn't an issue, Marvel really needs Fantastic Four to be successful. But
Mhm.
now, because I think they're coming out in the same month,
Yeah,
2
like
weeks
2
apart,
weeks
I believe,
apart. Yeah.
they now are competing with each other. So it needs to be
Mhm.
even more successful. The stakes have been raised.
Right, right. It's as important of a 2 movies as you'll see for 2 franchises. I mean, I think Superman's way more important overall because,
Sure.
like, this is the start of the new
Marvel
DC
could be
thing.
fine.
Yeah, like, Marvel's just gonna keep churning out movies, like
Yeah.
like, it's not a I mean, DC will too, but, like, this sets the tone for the new thing. Well, Marvel will just take another step back, which they've taken so many, so it'll be, in the public perception, so
Yeah.
I think it'll be good, though. I'm
Yeah.
excited for it.
I think the last movie I watched before on the last podcast we talked about was The Fablemans. Which that
Yes.
was a great movie. I then watched 5 movies this week, if you can believe it. I watched a movie my mom picked out, because she was in town, called The
Uh,
Children Act. It was a BBC movie starring Stanley Tucci and Emma Thompson. It was alright. It was alright. You don't need to watch it. But then I watched Predator.
looks very random.
Yeah, it's very random. It has an interesting premise that is 100% a premise my mom would be
The
into.
original Predator with
Yes, I
with
watched the original
Arnold?
Predator for the first time in my life, if you can believe it,
Pretty
with
scary, huh?
Jesse the Body Ventura and Carl Weathers and all those guys. I watched the 2019 Lion King movie, the John Favreau, Donald Glover, Beyonce, li-
Yeah, I've
the
seen that.
quote unquote live action Lion King.
I'll just say this, the as holds true, the animated one, a lot better.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what's interesting about that movie for me is that like at the end of the day, I'm like, I still like this movie for me because it's like it's still the Lion King. You know what I mean, story wise. But it is like what they did with it live action wise. I think a downgrade for sure than the
Yeah.
animation. But it is like for me, it's like, well, I still enjoyed it. It was still the Lion King, a good story, a good beat.
Yeah, like, they didn't change it a lot, which was fine.
Yeah,
I remember when it came out, people were like, "Hey, they didn't change much." And I'm like, "Why do I want these movies to be changed?" I just watched Lilo and Stitch get changed. I was like, "Why did we change this?"
yeah. It's that's a great point. That is a great point.
Why
Is
do I want the originals to change? The
Yes.
originals are great because they're that.
Yeah, the obviously the ultimate fix to all of this is don't remake the movies with the live action animation sort of thing, right? That would
Right,
solve the
right.
issue for everybody, I guess.
Correct.
But like to then be like the line between it has to be a perfect one-to-one adaptation where it's now just like live action looking footage to let's sort of modernize it and change it a little bit to
Yeah.
change sort of that they modernized the jokes in the 2019 Lion King a little bit and did I'm sure they did that in Lilo and Stitch too. No, not as well. So like the line between that, I feel like no one's going to be happy, but it's just like,
Mhm.
how do you find that? How do you
Yeah, I
find
mean,
that?
I know why they do the live actions to re-up the license and all that bullshit, so, like,
Mhm,
I'm not really phased by it.
mhm.
Just, like,
Eh,
do the same movie, though.
yeah, and of course make money, but
Well,
alas,
that
yeah.
too, but it goes hand in hand. License, money, sell stuff. Yeah, no. But yeah, and what were the other 3 movies? 2
The
movies?
other,
3
well,
movies?
actually, the other two movies was I saw a Buster Keaton movie called The Navigator, which is pretty good.
Okay.
It was on Tubi, I think. And then my wife and I went to a local movie theater yesterday, and we saw the new Celine Song movie. She's the director of Past Lives that came out Best Picture a couple years ago, 23, I think. Um,
Do we have a
uh,
name of the movie?
the new movie is called Materialist. It's the
Oh,
Dakota
yeah, the one with,
Johnson,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pedro Pascal,
Yes,
and
Pedro
Chris
Pascal.
Evans.
How'd you like it? A24, right?
Yeah, A24 as well. I liked it. I liked it a good amount. I think Jesse liked it a little bit less than me, but ultimately, I think we both liked it. We really love Past Lives. We've both thought that was a great movie. So if you like that movie, I think you're going to like this as well. There are definitely things about it that are there are some issues with it. I think Dakota Johnson just continues sort of being like, between like, oh, she's actually might be a good actress to, okay, all of her line readings are so flat and boring. And that's her usual thing. But it kind of works here because her character is supposed to be like a cold, calculated matchmaker, just
She's
like,
bad.
like dating is just math,
There's a reason most of her movies are bad, and it's usually because of her.
Yeah. But there are
But this
points in
wasn't
it
bad.
but there are points in it where it's like, all right, that's good. That works with her. Pedro Pascal is a fun bit. He basically pays his character. I'm the perfect man in the world, and that's his character. And I'm like, all right, good casting, good casting. Chris Evans plays, just like the normal Brooklyn dude. That's just like I'm a struggling actor. I'm all these sort of things. By the way, his muscle loss is so upsetting. He gets out of bed at one point and he puts on a shirt and he has no bicep. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Come on, man. Where's the bicep? Give me a little try at least.
That's crazy.
Like I saw
That
it, I
was your
just
first
immediately
thought.
reacted like, come
Um,
on.
he
Just
wasn't, like, a big guy before being
no, but he
Captain
was
America.
pretty. I mean, his arms were at least pretty big. Like he would stop a helicopter with those arms.
He was also 20 years younger, so
That's also fair. Um, this movie, I will say about The Materialist, there's a performance in here. What was the actress's name? Actress's name was Zoe Winters. Probably my leading candidate for Best Supporting Actress Oscar nominee. She is
wow.
so great in this movie. Uh, so fantastic in this
I'm
movie.
here.
I don't necessarily want to like spoil her storyline. Basically, she is um someone looking for love, uses Dakota Johnson's character. Nice hat switch, Scotty. She's using Dakota Johnson as like a matchmaker to try to find love. Then she goes on a really bad date, and that's where I'm going to stop with the spoiler territory of
No.
things. But
Is
um,
this your movie of the year so far?
no, 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 no.
What is your movie of the year?
I think my movie
For
of the year is
2025,
probably
obviously, release.
Sinners.
Oh, that's mine by
Yeah,
far.
I think right now it's Sinners, Mickey
I didn't know if I had
17,
seen
and
it.
then Materialist. If I had to
Yeah,
think about it.
I don't think, I'll have, Sinners tops this year, so I'm not even gonna
Sinners was
act
great.
like it'll be. I
Sinners is
mean,
just great.
yeah, it was incredible. If you didn't see that in theaters, I feel bad.
Yeah.
That's kinda like my takeaway. It's like it's one of those that you kinda really want to, you know?
Did you try to see it in like the IMAX screenings?
I did after the first time I saw it because I didn't know that. Because I
Mhm.
saw it pretty early, and then they were like, "Oh, you should see it here." And I'm like, "Well, sorry, I didn't. I
Yeah,
wanted to though."
the closest like whatever 70 millimeter IMAX
Yeah,
screening that I think to us was like in Tennessee. And I was like, well, we're not gonna do that.
mine was
So
about an hour away.
yeah,
Um, and I already saw it, so I was like, I was like, I can't get myself to drive an hour to see it again.
yeah,
I
that's
wish I had one
completely fair.
closer, but
That's completely fair. Yeah,
yeah,
Sinners is
movies
great.
are good. Movies good.
Movies are good.
Um,
I think this could be a good year for movies too. I think there's a lot of
I've
stuff on the horizon this year that looks really good.
I've seen a lot of movies from this year. Now that you mention it, I've seen 13 new movies like that have just come out this year.
I'm looking up. I think I've seen less than 10 probably. I've seen
I
9.
mean, some of them are just like thrown in there. But boy, oh boy, my some of them are bad too. Some of
What
them
have
are
you seen
quite
this year?
bad.
Give me the list.
Okay. I've seen Sinners. Hold on, Sinners, Formula One, Thunderbolts, Warfare, Mickey 17, One of Them Days, Black Bag, Paddington in Peru, Lilo and Stitch, Wallace and Gromit, Havoc, Captain America, Brave New World. Wish I didn't see that, and Mountainhead, which I also wish I didn't see.
You that was last week where you were the one that told me
Yeah,
Mountain
I was like,
sucks,
it
right?
was terrible, bullshit, bad, wasting my ass time. Ugh, terrible.
I saw 9 movies this year so far: Wallace and Gromit, Queen of the Ring, The Electric State,
I know you hate
Novocaine,
Queen of the Ring.
yeah, Novocaine, Mickey 17, Thunderbolts, Sinners, Mission Impossible, and Materialists.
I want to see a lot of those. To be fair, that I
Which
haven't
I can
seen.
tell you which ones to see and which ones not to see.
Well, so Mission Impossible, I'm not going to see until I watch them all. I'm only
That's what
through
we
the
did. We
first two.
watched. We went back. Well, we didn't
Yeah,
go back and watch the first 3. We started at Ghost Protocol, and then caught up.
you just didn't watch the first three.
I didn't. Me and my friend didn't think it would be as important as it turned out to
Oh,
be.
okay. Because the second one was bad.
Yeah,
That I've
I
seen
think
so
the third
far.
one gets slightly better.
Yeah, the first one's fine. The second one's really bad. Okay. Well, yeah, I want to see that. I want to see Novocaine too.
I would recommend Novocaine. Novocaine, honestly, would probably be 4th or 5th
Nice.
after Materialists. I think fighting with Thunderbolts. I like Thunderbolts.
I like Thunderbolts a lot.
And then Final Reckoning would be underneath Thunderbolts, Novocaine, whatever has 6. I think
All
that's what
right.
it would be. Yeah, good. Yeah, good movies. Good movies. There's other bunch of movies coming out this year. We talked about Superman. We talked about Fantastic Four.
I have a list of movies I want to see this
We
year.
saw a trailer for Eddington, and I was like, Jesse, this is the movie I want to see. And she's like, Yep, I want to see that too. The new Ari
What-
Aster movie, so that should be really good.
What's the next movie I want to see? Oh, Superman. Duh.
Yeah, I
Fantastic
think
Four. I'm actually very excited for Happy Gilmore too. I'm not proud of that.
I am too. I am also very excited to
I
see
was,
that.
I was like, when's the last time I was excited for an Adam Sandler movie? It's like it's been a long time for me.
I think starting in July, there's going to be a movie every week I want to see. It's Superman, Eddington, Fantastic Four, and also Happy Gilmore 2. And then Naked Gun comes out August 1st. Obviously, I want to see that.
The beautiful thing about is Happy Gilmore 2 is I don't have to go anywhere.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I don't have to go anywhere for that. But obviously, I want
That's
to see
mo-
Naked Gun.
and that's movies with Ring Post Radio.
As movies of Ring Post Radio. Well,
20
shout out
minutes in.
Sydney Lane Carter. My birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday,
Happy
Sydney.
birthday.
For turning another year around the sun. It was also my birthday last week. Speaking of,
Happy birthday.
yeah, my wife and I celebrated by sitting at home after work, eating
We
pizza
talked
and
about that
sushi,
last week, to be fair.
eating
Well,
pizza
no.
and sushi, and watching Predator.
We never talked about your birthday on here. I did
Well,
wish
I
you
just
had.
did. Just technically, I did.
I did. Well, so you want to hear something funny?
Sure.
So just to go along with birthdays, because I freak out about birthdays, because there'll be days I just wake up and like, holy shit, did I forget whoever's birthday?
Yeah.
And I'll look at the calendar, I'll be like, oh, it's in like 2 weeks. So
Do you-
hilariously enough, do you have Facebook?
Yes, I have a feeling I
on
know
your
where this is
phone.
going, but go ahead.
So I get notifications like sometimes like, oh, it's this person's birthday, which don't get me wrong, lifesaver for some people. But I know when one of my best friends' birthdays are, and it told me yesterday it was his birthday. And I was like, his birthday ain't today, buddy. I was like, what? So I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, happy birthday." He's like, "What?" I was like, Facebook told me it's your birthday, and Facebook never lies, I'm told." And he's like, and he just was like, "I hate you." And I was like, and then I told my other friend to also wish him happy birthday, so he did, and he's like, "I can't stand you." So there's your birthday. Thank you for bringing back birthdays. But you ate pizza and sushi. That sounds like a great birthday.
It was a pretty good birthday. I have a good friend that he does not like his birthday and does not like celebrating his
Me
birthday.
either. I hate my birthday as well.
Yeah, totally fine, obviously. And what I did uh, was I texted him the day after his birthday and just wished him a happy birthday. And in the text, I said, I was going to text you yesterday that I remember that you don't like it, don't like celebrating your birthday, and don't like happy birthdays on your birthdays. So, as a good friend, I waited a day and purposely sent this to you the next day.
That's
Because
incredible.
that's what good friends do. Is look, I know you don't like it. I'm still gonna wish you a happy birthday, but
Right, right. I still have to wish you one.
yeah, I'm not. I know you're not going to like this, so I'm going to not do it on the actual day and give you a day to to relax a little bit. Anyways, well, we should probably talk about some wrestling. There was some breaking news this morning that for some listeners, this may be a spoiler, I guess, but I don't know if it's going to be a
Or
spoiler because I don't know when it's going to pop up on video on, I assume, New Japan World at some point. I don't know.
I'm sure it'll pop up elsewhere somewhere sooner. But yeah.
That's probably accurate. Well, the breaking news is that this morning everyone's waking up to the news that, of course, last night or this morning there was the New Japan Tanahashi Jam. This was the Hiroshi Tanahashi produce show, with, of course, main evented by him, teaming up with Naomichi Marufuji, defeating Kaito Kiyomiya and Rohei Oiwa. I guess spoiler
Oh, I'm
there as
so
well.
happy the old guys won.
Well, shocker. But yeah, this was live on, I assume, TV Asahi. This was
Yes.
not available on the streamer of New Japan World, not even
Yes.
available to purchase on the streamer. uh
Yes.
I don't know if you were available to purchase in Japan specifically, but definitely not in the States. But the other big thing here is that the seven main event of the show was an IWGP World Heavyweight Title defense by Hiroki Goto against Zack Sabre Jr. And everyone just sort of wrote it off. I think in a fair way, Scotty. But it turns out there was a title switch. It turns out by referee's decision, which I think is an important note here, that Zack Sabre Jr. is the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, defeating Hiroki Goto, of course, like I said, by referee's decision in 28 minutes and 14 seconds on the Tanahashi Proto Show, Tanahashi Jam, last night, this morning. Scotty, what's the immediate takeaway from Goto's title reign ending here in this fashion, and putting the belt back on Zack Sabre Jr.? And I guess we don't know exactly what happened, but it is a referee's decision. I have seen some news about maybe Goto has been injured and came into this match injured. I don't know, but there's some rumblings and rumors about that. I don't know. But what's your takeaway seeing this result this morning?
We should take Gato out. Oh my god. So for full openness, Ryan really wanted me not to see this before.
I
He
texted you. I
was
was like,
like,
ideally, you don't go on social
yeah.
media this
So
morning.
unlucky for you, I woke up an hour earlier than I usually do. Had I woken up when I usually do, I would have saw your message and I would have not seen anything, and we would have had a great bit here today.
Mhm.
But I was up an hour early. I already had seen it before you even messaged it. And boy, oh boy, I've kept my thoughts in. And I just think that New Japan wants itself to fail. And I think that's awesome. Um, who wants to see him reign again as champion? Give me the list.
Possibly Hiroshi Tanahashi on that list.
Yeah, sure. Definitely Gato. And here's my biggest problem, which I think is what a lot of people have landed on. They just are putting it back on him because Forbidden Doors in UK.
That's what it kind of feels like. I will say it also.
Gross.
I will say it feels like it's Forbidden Door UK. I will also say that it does give a little bit more juice to that B block, for the G1 climax, having
I
the champion
guess,
in
but
there.
that B block stinks, man.
Yeah,
Like
it
that.
stinks already, but you
This
know
is
what I'm
not.
saying? Like, okay, now we got the champion in there. So, okay, there's going to be a little more
Ah,
juice, a little more action. But yeah, it
can,
really feels like it's because Forbidden Door is in the UK this year.
it sucks ass. Just like plain and simple. Like, who wants to see Zack Sabre Jr.'s world champion again? No one. No one legitimately wants to see that. Unless you're like a big Zack fan. There's no one that walked away from that title reign being like, oh, you know what? We need to do that again.
Yeah.
No one said that. And especially to end Goto's run. Like, that's the worst part. It's like, we had this great run with Goto, and everyone's like, oh, when's he going to lose it? When's he going to lose it? Like, you had talked about it. You pitched, like, okay, like, if he lost to Finley, it wouldn't be a big deal. If he lost to this, that. But losing it back to Zack?
Yeah.
That's got to be the worst one, like, option besides Shota Umino. Sorry, I had to get that slide in there. This is like giving the belt back to Sonata to me. Like, had Sonata beaten or lost to Naito last year and then got it back a few months later, that's what this feels like to me. Because I didn't walk out of that reign feeling all too enthused, and I didn't walk out of this reign being all too enthused. And this one just got worse and worse and worse as time gone on, right? The Shota Umino. That match I'll never forget. But I can't wait to run that match back next year at Wrestle Kingdom. That's what I'm just running with. We're just gonna run that back because it was so good the first time. Right?
Well,
Right, Ryan?
well, luckily you don't have to wait that long. They're both in the same block for the G1 this year.
That's right. Oh god. I just
Yeah,
how can anyone
I will say, Scotty, it 100% feels like we're going to run that match back for the Wrestle Kingdom this year.
Oh
100%.
my god. I mean, it would probably be Suji, right? Still.
I don't know anymore. I don't know.
It should have been Suji and Goto, not any of this bullshit. I've seen people try to pitch like, oh well, maybe Takeshita will win the belt. I'm like, why are we getting our hopes up, guys? No, this sucks. This was like legitimately like I was already like it was a thread, right? I was like, I'm hanging by a thread with New Japan already. Goto was the last thread, and they just were like,
yeah,
all right, see ya as I fall. I've been playing a lot of the game Peak on Steam. Have you seen clips of that?
I don't think I have.
So essentially, what you do is you just climb. You're just trying to climb a mountain with friends, right? And you're just trying
Oh
to survive.
yes.
And if you fall, you die. Well, boy, oh boy, Gato saw me reaching, trying to get up to the next ledge, and he pushed me off. This sucks. I hate it.
I also hate like this. Do it on this show, like.
Oh, I know.
Look, if Goto
That's
is like
really the
legitimately
cherry on
injured
top,
and they
isn't
wanted to
it?
drop the belt and everything, he
Sure.
is also going to the G1 Climax, so I'm not 100% positive about the injury stuff, but I guess we'll find out in the upcoming week. But like Dominion was right there. Shingo is a solid choice,
Oh
And,
yeah,
and,
sure
even
was.
if you like, even if you still want to run back Shota Umino as like an eventual Wrestle Kingdom main eventer, you
Yeah.
established this year a rivalry between Shota Umino and Shingo Takagi. You could
Yeah.
do that. You could do that too. Why Zack Sabre Jr.? I don't know. I don't get it. It's frustrating.
I don't
And
think
look,
they're actually running the Shota thing back. To be fair.
I do not know, man. They've been doing it all year. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Shota. Why did they do Zack and not Shingo?
Why? Well, there's various questions of why they did what they did. I think the cherry on top though of New Japan officially being going back to the world of being #bad is this not airing on TV
Yeah,
or airing worldwide. I should say it aired on TV.
yeah.
I think that's like the ultimate cherry on top. It's like, oh, you guys really enjoyed this Goto thing. What if we took it away from you and you can't see it?
You can't see it live. We're gonna
Like,
spoil the result for you, basically.
like it's just, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah.
I don't know how anyone could be excited for the G1 right now.
Yeah, that's why I bring up the referee's decision.
Also,
The
Taichi
injury
didn't
stuff.
make the tournament. I didn't even get to rant about that because I was gonna rant about that. Because that's bullshit as well.
Yeah,
This company, man. I
frustrating,
don't I
frustrating
don't
right now.
think I like anything about New Japan right now outside of, well, Sari's technically IWGP Women's Champion,
That
but I don't
helps.
think she'll ever wrestle on a New Japan show.
Yeah.
So
Do you think we can get Suri in a Forbidden Door?
no. Um,
What about against Mercedes Moné?
Absolutely not.
Oh, darn.
You want Mercedes to lose 2 matches in a row?
Okay, fine. Tony Storm. Huh?
You want Tony Storm to lose?
I mean,
We're pitching. I mean, she wants a match against Athena or Tony Storm, so it'll work out.
yeah, it's in
If
the
they're doing
UK.
that.
I mean, you know.
I mean, hey, listen, she'd do it if you give her one of those 2 matches. Um. Anyways, what I was saying was New Japan's just bad. It's just,
Yeah.
it's not good. It's not good. And listen, I think it's nice that like I can sit here and be like, oh, remember all that excitement people have for Forbidden Door? Well, I don't. I don't care about Forbidden Door anymore. But people did, right?
I like to imagine this title switch to Zack Sabre Jr. was just another way for New Japan to be like, no, we're not booking Shibata in a match. Stop asking. We're not doing it anymore. Fine, you're still asking for it. Fine, we're switching the title of Goto. Now the match is off. Shut up.
It might be true though. Like
Yeah.
if they run if they run so they're gonna run Shota and Zack guaranteed anyways in the G1.
Mm-hmm.
If they run Osprey and Zack,
I think it's
they,
I think it's gonna be Osprey Zack. I think I look. You almost have to wonder the alternate reality, right? Because the alternate reality is that apparently it came down to the draw between Hangman and Osprey, right?
yeah,
To be the number one contender.
yeah.
Win the Owen, be the number one contender, go into All In as champion. Whoever was going to win that match, we knew was going to beat Moxley probably. More confident with Page, obviously, less
We didn't
so
know that for
Osprey, but
sure.
still confident that he would. If Osprey won and beat Adam Page, and then Osprey beats Moxley, he would then go on to Forbidden Door and probably wrestle somebody like Zack Sabre Jr. for the AEW title. But now that Osprey is not doing that, he is taking Adam Page's spot in the tag match against the Young Bucks with Swerve. And I think the replacement is to still have a title match with Zack Sabre Jr. in the UK, and instead they're doing it with the IWGP World Title. Isn't that crazy? I don't know. Obviously, I'm not behind the forbidden doors of this idea, but that's my immediate takeaway of what this feels like. Why Zack Sabre Jr.? Why did we pick him? If Goto was injured, if Goto got injured during the match, this throws out the whole conspiracy theory that I'm setting up here, Scotty, because that's something else entirely. If Goto got injured during the match, then I'm not going to blame really anyone, and that sucks.
Match. I feel like if someone got injured during the match, they wouldn't make that direct pivot.
Probably not. But
I know someone that saw the match. They said it was great.
Yeah.
So it didn't sound like it was like an injury that really hampered him if there was one.
Yeah. But nevertheless, my conspiracy right now is it does feel like it's Osprey, and it feels like that was always the intention. That's what these two companies agreed on. When the AEW thing fell out, it then became, all right, let's put the title on Zack Sabre Jr. then and do the title match still at Forbidden Door. Which, like, look, that is a good match to put on at Forbidden Door. I mean, I'm not going to say that's a bad match per se. I mean, these guys have a really lengthy history.
I'll say it's a bad match. I have zero interest in watching that for the 19th time.
Yeah, well, I have interest in it because it's always been pretty good, if not great.
I also have zero interest in Zack Sabre Jr. as a whole now, so that probably is not helping.
To delineate for how I'm feeling, Scotty, to help you know how I'm feeling. I think I'm excited for an Osprey Zack Sabre Jr. title match. I am not excited for a Zack Sabre Jr. title reign, if that makes sense. I'm not excited for this. It's kind of silly. Because it's like because even then, if what I'm saying conspiracy theory wise is true, and we're just doing this for Forbidden Door, what do we do after that? What is the plan after that? And that's what we talk about Shota Umino of like, well, they've been feuding all year. Maybe Shota Umino's going to win this thing. I don't know. There's still Takeshita. We talked about Takeshita. That could still happen.
Can I ask the room a serious question?
Mm.
Who gives a shit about Forbidden Door anymore? Like, it is not a pivotal, exciting event anymore. It's just a show with good wrestling, which, fun fact, I don't know if people know this, that's most AEW pay-per-views.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily feel like the most special thing. I think there's still stuff they could do. They start matches, obviously they've held
Like
off,
Goto
but
versus Shibata.
yeah,
Yeah, that would've been pretty cool.
there are
It's gonna
still
be
like
Tanahashi
things
and
they've held
Omega.
off.
Why does any of this matters?
Yeah,
That's gonna be the main,
yeah.
I think, for the unified, whatever the hell it's called.
Hmm. But what was
Terrible
it?
name, by the way. You know, I never got to talk about that.
I'm pretty sure you probably talked about it.
No, I never talked about it on here. We talked about it on Slack, and I never brought it up again because we never talked about that episode.
Hmm.
Uh, Terrible name for a
What's the name
championship.
again
Good
for the
looking title.
audience?
The AEW Unified Championship.
Yeah.
I've never seen a name that's so like for certain gonna change in years. Like I saw the belt, I was like, oh, that's that's a nice belt way to put everything together. And so I was like, that's cool. And then I was like, they just called it the Unified Championship.
Hmm.
It's their version of undisputed. I understand that, but like, it sounds dumb.
Well, they can't do undisputed because there's another world champion. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I understand that, but like WWE does that right now. They
yeah,
literally are doing
that's
that right now. So that's why I assume they went with Unified. But it's like everyone be like Intercontinental's right there, and it's like, yeah, but like I get why they don't do that one.
there's the
Um,
WWE one, but also if they want this to be another world title, you
People
can't.
think it's a mid card.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't call it the
people
Intercontinental.
people instantly look at that as a mid card, but it's how you book it. Whatever. Just terrible name, fun belt. Looking forward to that match. Yeah, no, what like okay. Now we're on Forbidden Door. Let's just stay on the Forbidden
Sure, sure,
Door
sure.
aspect here. We'll talk about Night of Champions in a bit.
Yeah, got to talk about Night of Champions.
What about Forbidden Door can get you excited for that show?
Like
Truly.
a true Forbidden Door matchup sort of thing.
Yeah, like Omega Tanahashi for me is probably as close as I can think of. And even that, I'm like, what? Like, it's just you kind of have to do it, right? Because it's the last time you could.
Yeah.
But there's like nothing that comes to mind for me.
I'm just gonna throw out some combinations and try to think of some people.
And you have to seriously consider this in the way that AEW clearly looks at these things and who they consider serious from New Japan's side too. Like, I think that's important.
What about this as a singles? Because and this would continue storyline bits, but I know you, Scotty, and I don't think you're gonna be jazzed about it. But you can't deny that this would work storyline wise. What about Swerve Strickland versus Gabe Kidd? I know. You're not gonna eat. You're not gonna eat your vegetables, Scotty.
I don't want to eat my vegetables. I don't want to think about that match.
that would work storyline wise. So I guess it could also work if it was Samoa Joe and Gabe Kidd, because that would make almost more sense because Gabe Kidd costs
I
Samoa
don't want
Joe the
any
title.
of these people losing to Gabe Kidd.
Losing? You think they're losing to Gabe Kidd?
Well, he's a champion.
I think it was just, if it was Swerve. He's like, hold on, did you say Gabe Kidd was a champion? You mean the New Japan Strong champion? What is he? Oh
He's
no,
the
he is. Oh
global
no, he's right. The
champion.
global. He's the global. Oh, you're right.
Come on, man. He
Oh, yeah.
holds a legitimate
Well,
championship.
then that should be Samoa Joe versus Gabe Kidd, because Samoa Joe more likely can lose that match than Swerve.
It's criminal either way.
Yeah, but also I don't know, Scotty, but Gabe Kidd versus Samoa Joe actually kind of does something for me. I don't know about you.
I'm not.
It obviously, I think the peak there would be if Gabe Kidd had a
Ooh,
match, would be Eddie Kingston would be at most ideal, but well,
shout out,
impossible.
Eddie. Pour one out for Eddie Kingston. Hope he's doing well.
What other champions does New Japan have? Who are the tag champs? Does that matter? No.
Taichi and Ishii, that they're not. Taichi's not going over. There's
Yeah.
just no way.
Yeah. Well, it is the UK, so there's a higher chance. I don't know. I don't recall if I feel like he's gone over for UK shows before. I don't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that one either.
I don't know. Okay, so like
Suri feels very. I think Suri Tony Storm feels very plausible.
yeah, it's just like you're not working with Stardom at that point.
That is true. Well, Tony Storm has the Stardom connection. So that's something,
Okay,
I
but
guess. I know
again,
it's
he
it's
doesn't.
it's tenuous at best.
As someone who works heavily with Surrey, this is not. You're not working with Stardom. You are working with someone that does not belong to that company. So it's like it's a very unique. Like I think Azumi is just going to defend there,
Azumi makes
but she's
sense.
the strong
Yeah.
now. So like that's kind of been my thought process.
Do we dare do Azumi versus Mercedes Moné for the title?
I mean, it's the most understandable match.
Yeah, and then Mercedes Moné can get the title back.
Yeah. Though Bozilla just said she wants to challenge for it, so
I mean, someone's losing to Mercedes Moné, so I don't know.
yeah, no
Pick your
shit.
poison, I guess.
Yeah. That's a I don't know. So, booking any Forbidden Door is so difficult because nothing makes sense anymore.
Well,
Um,
I think it's less that nothing makes sense anymore. I think it's more so that New Japan right now is so weak in terms of its star powers and
they
stuff.
felt strong about a few months ago. All of a sudden,
I
now
will
they're
agree
weak as
there.
shit.
I will agree there. They're on that roller coaster course, and they're continuing to be on the downslope right now.
They were going
It's
up.
something. I think the biggest thing is that, like, here's my thought about New Japan. I think they do have. We talk about this every once in a while. They do have a lot of young guys that I think are very talented that can be part of this new wave that pushed the future. But I think at this point, it is very apparent that backstage there needs to be a lot of changes
Mhm.
because that's kind of the issue right now. You could blame like House of Torture and all these sort of things, and you're not going to find that blame coming from this podcast. But
Absolutely not.
really, it's backstage is where
Why am
we're
I going
going
to
to need
blame the
change.
guy that doesn't book it? He's not booking it.
Well, he
Evil
should.
doesn't book
Maybe he should,
companies.
Scotty. Have we considered that?
Well, might be cooking.
But something obviously needs to happen backstage for any of these guys to get pushed more so into the future. It's
Right.
the time is now over to wait. I thought Zack Sabre Jr. was a solid, like, okay, let's elevate a guy. That makes sense at the time because the young guys are still too young and we need to elevate a guy. That makes sense. Goto, you can't deny Goto. Maybe it was like, maybe we should have gone a young guy, but Goto, you couldn't deny him at the time. And it turns out that he was a financial boon and a draw in the ring, right?
Ah,
So
yeah.
you can't deny that, like, yeah, Goto was the right call. But then it was always like, okay, now one of the young guys is next. Suji obviously feels like the guy that's like next up.
Right. Mhm. And then they just
And then we went back to Zack Sabre Jr. And then it's like, what? Huh? Is this? I mean,
Ah,
this could easily just be a cup of coffee rain, and lose at
yeah,
Wrestle Kingdom, or even lose it beforehand at
before.
what Sakura Genesis or something, or whatever that show
That'd be
was.
great.
I think that's certainly plausible. It is, but it
Yeah, I
is
think
just
my
such a
problem
slow.
is, like, I'm just so uninterested in everything they have going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the actual New Japan brand. I don't I don't care
It's
about
getting a little hand wavy
I
for
like
sure.
Desperado.
Did you
That's it.
watch the Death Pain
Not
Invitational?
not yet. Every time I wanna watch it, I say I wanna sit down and watch it and, like, fully watch it,
Yeah,
but I haven't been able to, so, that's my one match I haven't got to watch this week. Yeah, I just oh my god. Fuck it. Yeah. Fuck
yeah.
whatever.
Well,
Forbidden Door is something I don't care about. All In, I'm very excited for, though, if that makes anyone feel better. This is not a, AEW hate fest by me. I am actually very much looking forward to All In. It's more of
yeah,
a New Japan hate fest, if anything. Um Your main event should just involve CMLL at this point.
yes. Yeah, I mean,
Truthfully.
that will go. Yeah, going back to that, that's really the issue of Forbidden Doors. That New Japan is becoming so weak that you can't really get excited about a joint show with like one company that's kind of hot right now, and another company that's like, what are you doing? Making these sort of hand wavy, what are you doing decisions. Um,
Cold as ice.
hard to get excited in any
When
capacity.
is Forbidden Door?
Because in the same idea, like, when is it?
The 24th?
Yes, the 24th of August. In the same
Oh,
idea, everyone's very
Sunday?
excited for like AEW and CMLL because CMLL is also a hot promotion. who was just continuously stays hot promotion.
Mm-hmm.
New Japan's
You
not.
know what's really funny? If you think about it, every company that takes part in Forbidden Door besides New Japan is hot.
Ring of Honor?
That's not a real company.
Yeah.
Stardom's
CMLL,
hot.
Stardom.
CMLL's hot. AEW's hot.
Yeah.
And then there's New Japan.
I
That's
wonder if
just
Rev Pro is going to be involved here. Just like a.
well, that's not a real company either.
Yeah, but no, but they're in London, England. You
They
wonder.
can call it Rev Pro. They can put their name on there and be like,
We'll get Michael Oku
"There's a
defending the
British
title.
guy here."
Michael Oku defending the title versus somebody.
Don't do that to us. Don't do
Okay, what about Michael Oku defending it against like somebody from CMLL?
No, I don't want to see Michael Oku.
Okay, that's fair.
There's a reason he's not signed.
Yeah, yeah, that's also a good point. We might not get Michael Oku at all because apparently he was signed and apparently he wasn't. Who knows? Just to close up this bit, sorry, no bits. G1 Climax with Zack Sabre Jr. now holding the title. Now I'm sort of looking towards Block A potentially have the winner. I think Takeshita is still like a very strong candidate. Even Shingo, Shota Umino, sadly, are all candidates now in Block B for sure. Block A, you got Bolton Oleg, Evil, David Finlay, Hiroki Goto, Callum Newman, Sonata, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Yota Tsuji, Yuya Uemura, and then probably Rohei Oiwa because he's probably going to beat Satoshi Kojima for sure. Who is immediately calling out to you as like a Wrestle Kingdom main eventer?
I'll be shocked if Tsuji's not winning.
Yeah, that feels like Tsuji is now the immediate. I mean, Finlay, I think, is also Finlay is an outsider pick.
Tsuji felt pretty likely. Now he feels like a lock to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, we talked about Takeshita versus Tsuji as the finals, I think,
which should still be the final. Have Takeshita beat Zack in the tournament.
Yeah,
you can run that title match at Sakura Genesis or something.
Yeah,
but yeah, I just I'm kind of just so uninterested. Like my New Japan interest, as I was saying, hanging by a thread. Now it's like not even existent. Like I will obviously not watch the entire G1 because there's just gonna probably be a wrestler that's really awful in there, and there's also I didn't get Taichi in there to begin with.
I mean, you're probably gonna watch at least half of the G1 with A Block exclusively.
Yeah. B Block will be a pick and choose situation. I won't watch much Callum Newman. I'm not gonna sit here and lie.
Well,
I won't watch much Sonata either.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
In the year 2025.
Yeah. Is there a chance that Zack Sabre Jr.'s title reign will be better? His first one was obviously defeating Naito, then Sonata, Shingo, Shota Umino, Ricochet, and Goto. Like we're already kind of talking about Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ospreay, Takeshita, and Tsuji. That feels better to me.
I would say so. I would say so.
Is that something to get excited about?
I don't. The problem is I can't get excited about Zack right now. Like I'm just. It was getting. I was tired of him to begin with, and now it's like. Now I have to see him as champion again before I could fully like. Okay, I'm ready for him to do something again. That's the problem for me.
Yeah.
And that's the battle here. What you do know is that Forbidden Door will have big matches for Zack and big matches for Gabe. Everything else is like from the New Japan side. Because British chip cheerio, some. Is that it? Is that there? Is that the British thing?
Cheerio?
I said chip.
Chip Perio.
Get me out of here.
Sure. Yeah, we should probably start talking about something else.
Night of Champions?
Before we get to talk about that, real quickly, I just want to stay in Japan because I want to bring this up that I finally finished watching the Champion Carnival from All Japan.
Yeah.
And I should be clear, not every single match. At a certain point, I'm just watching main events on that show because it was not a great Champion Carnival. It hasn't been a great tournament for the past couple of years. I think also like attendance wise, that's clear because the Champion Carnival like doesn't really draw anymore for like Korakuen Halls or whatever for All Japan. So that sucks for them. But I finally finished watching it. I also watched the Saito versus Saito title match and everything, and these were all fine. and just sort of talking about like now New Japan becoming hand wavy. All Japan obviously has already kind of been there.
Oh yeah, I
Noah,
hand waved them a while ago.
yeah, Noah, I think is also this year started to become a little hand wave. That 3-way with Segura and Endo and
I don't
Ozawa,
watch
that
it.
really like, oh, okay, I need to take a break right now. That was
Yeah.
really upsetting. But I finally finished up watching All Japan, and I was just sitting there being like, All Japan is really not really doing much. And I was sitting there looking there thinking like, damn, Yuma Anzai goes to All Japan, reinvigorates like the world of like, all right, you got to watch this guy, you got to watch All Japan. There's stuff going on. This guy is going to be the future. And now here I am, so long into the Saito's matches. Saito versus Saito has a title match, and all, wins the champion carnival. And now I'm past that. I'm just sort of like, now what? Now what are we doing? We got so much comedy all over the place with Aowagi's, Yuma Aowagi and Co. and Ryuki Honda and all these people doing comedy bits. Yuma Ansai is just kind of there, a guy on the
Well,
on the
he's taking a
roster.
month leave, 2-month leave or something. He said
hmm
because
In an
he's
alternate
clearly
reality,
going
he went to
into
New
the
Japan, and
N1.
yeah, alternate reality, he went to New Japan, and I don't, maybe
He'd
that's
still
better
be
for
young
him.
lion, man.
What's that?
He'd still be a young lion. I don't know
That
what you're
actually is
talking
probably
about.
true. You're probably right. He would still be young lion. So maybe I shouldn't. I should count my chickens. Uh, but I was just thinking there, like, man, what is just Japan in general? Like, I was thinking also like the best thing
A
I think coming out
country.
of All Japan this year. There's not a lot good things coming out of All Japan this year, Scotty, but the junior title matches with like Musashi and Seki Yoshioka, those have all been like largely good, really good to great. That's if you're gonna watch anything from All Japan, it's a junior title match. Um, but that
Ooh.
being said, it's like what is happening in All Japan? What is happening in Noah? What is happening in New Japan? What is happening in Japan general? We're gonna throw out Joshi for right now for this discussion, but because
Oh, good luck.
Stardom's killing it. I would say they're killing it because
Joshi is up.
yeah.
All attendance in Joshi is up.
Do you think that's
So this
partly
is a
because
Puro problem.
Puro is so down?
It probably works hand in hand. Like that's a great conversation. I think Joshi has found something in various markets. I think Queen of Villains helped.
Yeah,
I think just like the rise of Asaya Kamatani has obviously helped.
Tam
Um,
obviously.
she's not here. We don't have to talk about her. Puro going kind of down has certainly helped. I think too. I think that's definitely a conversation point because I don't know what in Puro now that Goto is no longer champion is lighting the world on fire. You know,
Yeah,
I guess Ozawa. We can't discount Ozawa even if we're not 100% sold or whatever. Like he is still a big time draw. That is what he has become. He's the only thing lighting the world on fire from my perspective, and
yeah.
I'm not really a big fan of him. So like nothing's lighting the world on fire for me. I guess the hope here now is that the two tournaments kind of re-peak your interest, right? You kind of hope the G1 can over deliver. You hope the N1 could over deliver,
Mhm.
like things like that. I
But
don't have any interest in
anyone's
all
not
Japan.
till anyone's not till September, right?
I think it's August it starts.
Oh, I'm gonna look it up real quick. But go ahead.
All Japan I have zero interest in whatsoever. Like I'll see they have a title match. I'm not watching it. I don't care. I don't have any interest in the Saitos. And they're draws too. So like that's the thing. It's or kind of. I don't really know how they're doing. But like you're kind of nailing it. It's like there's not really anything that connects myself, connects you, connects others with this run of stuff right now. I think all these companies are trying different things, and I think that can be appreciated. But at the same time, they're also going away from I think what makes them great in our eyes.
Yeah.
In many ways, All Japan has long been away from like the Kento Miyaharas of the world and the super work rate. They've been pretty much away from him for like almost 2 years now. Um, Noah is completely changed. Obviously, they have went fully in on Ozawa, and that's again the right choice by them. But even so, like I, I don't really know how to feel about Noah these days. And then New Japan, obviously, like They
Waking
build
up this
themselves
morning.
they build themselves back up, and then they cut themselves off, right? Dominion had so much negativity coming out of it, and then they take the belt off of Goto the next big show.
Well,
Like, they
not even Big Show. I mean, like,
well, it's a big show for them. They had over 4,000 in Dolphins Arena and all this. So, like,
sure,
it's a
that's
big
fair.
show for New Japan, just not us,
Well,
because we
that
couldn't
that
see it.
that brings up a good point. Is that like all this stuff isn't really interesting to us, and I know it's not interesting to a lot of other people. But the idea that there is, I don't know how the numbers are. I haven't looked at the attendance data in a while, but maybe there's an argument to be had that this stuff that they're doing is not appealing to the international or rather American markets,
But it
but
is to Japan, and
it
that's what matters.
can still be appealing to the Japanese markets. And at a certain
Yeah.
point, you got to ask yourself,
But New Japan's going the opposite of that now.
yeah, feels like it.
Like, Goto was, I think, worldwide, but especially Japan. Saito's Japan, Ozawa, Japan, right? That's where all those guys are creating interest,
Yeah.
and now they're going away. Goto's taken out, so it's like, what what are you doing? It feels like you made so many strides forward, and now you just are pulling itself back. It feels like somehow within a year, New Japan saw themselves succeed and said, "What if we made House of Torture bigger? What if we made Zack Sabre Jr. champion again? What if we got rid of Tetsuya Naito?" It's like, what if we did everything wrong
Yeah.
and did it all at once?
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling. It doesn't make sense.
Which
Puro's, like,
which by
fine
the way,
attendance-wise.
they focus on themselves, but then when they put the title on Zack Sabre Jr. in what we believe might be a play to get to that international fan base
Right.
with Forbidden Door.
Right, which
Whenever it's like something
Mhm.
attracting to the international fans, it doesn't go
Right.
well because
So
the international fans are like, no, 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 I don't
no.
want this.
So that's the reason I don't fault, like, what All Japan know are doing. I don't have interest in it, so that's whatever. But, like, you're doing things that are gonna bring people into the building. I don't like, that's fine. I
Yeah,
get it. I get it.
maybe that's something to say is that like Japan wrestling doesn't really know how to attract the international fan right now. Maybe that's just what
Um,
it is.
Probably, I guess. Well, I don't know if it's that, but also I don't think the international fan knows what they want either right now.
That's again the line between live action versus animation for movies.
Like
How what do you want? What people don't really know what they want.
I think everyone's so split all the time on everything, and it could be wrestling, it could be literally anything in the world these days.
Scott, I don't know what you're talking about. I think this week has been a
I
fun
know.
week in the world.
Oh, yeah. Like, I think everyone's very split at all times, and it comes down to wrestling too at the end of the day. Um, I don't know. It's fascinating to watch Puro because a lot of people that I know that love Puro aren't loving Puro right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
International fans. Again, this is not speaking for Japan. They have attendance number up, and a lot of times people are like, "Well, I don't like it, but hey, it's working for them, so like I get it." Like
yeah,
that's like maybe the ultimate Ozawa experience for a lot of people. If you don't like him, you don't really like Noah. But Noah's crushing it, so it's like you can't fault them. I don't think anyone likes All Japan though. like unless you're a Saito diehard,
yeah.
there's nothing to like there. You know,
Well,
like
like I said, I think the junior heavyweight title matches have been pretty good. I think that's the thing to like, but
sure, but
that's
like
where you're
that's
gonna
the
get
same
the
for New
good
Japan.
wrestling.
That's the same for New Japan though. Like that's what
Yeah,
Desperado's doing.
well, that's true. That's certainly true.
Like
He's probably gonna lose the
so many.
title, but that's fine.
Yeah, but Kosei Fuji is awesome, so like I
Agreed.
won't be upset about it. You know,
Mhm.
that's New Japan. New Japan Puro, very weird spot. That's why I don't watch it.
Yeah,
Besides New Japan,
yeah,
um, yeah, it's weird. I mean, we're a lot of things are weird in wrestling overall right now. It's hard. It can be hard to forget when CM Punk exists, like the other things are going on,
yeah.
because he's really done a great job at just controlling all of that
Scotty, we'll
lately.
save that for our new Night of Champions
Oh,
later.
of course, of course, of course.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, like I that's the thing with like when we talk about Pure, like at the end of the day, how do you bring in the international fan? It shouldn't be any of these companies' goals. unless they plan to go more global, and I don't think that's happening. That's why, again, I'll say this one more time. I have no problem with what Noah's doing. I have no problem with all Japan's doing. It just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And I do have a problem with New Japan's doing, but they want to go. They want to be a little bit more global. They have U.S. shows monthly type thing, so it's like
Yeah.
I will blame them. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to look. I need to relook at the attendance data to see
What
if
is your favorite Puro company to watch right now? Like,
it's a
what
tough
company
question.
has you moved? Has you excited these next few months?
I mean, all of them are are in the red. So, of what is the least in the red is really the question.
I would say so. I guess it would still probably be New Japan, right?
It's probably still New Japan because, like I said, right now, if we're theorizing that the next three title defenses are going to be Osprey, Takeshita, and Suji, that does something for me. I'm not going to lie. That does a little something for me. I'm going to watch those.
Mm,
You know,
mhm.
uh, that's something. It's
Yeah.
probably New Japan. Noah, since that Ozawa three-way, I've been like, no, I need a pause. So I haven't
Oh,
even.
you were right. The N1 doesn't start till September. That's crazy.
September 8th is when that starts in Cork and Hall.
Holy, that is late.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know what like the next Ozawa title defense is. I don't know
He's
anything about.
facing Keno. I just learned when I went on their website.
Oh, okay, good for him. Well, when
On
when
the
is he facing
19th.
Keno?
The 19th at Cork and Hall.
Oh, the night there's a Cork and Hall show also the next day. Is that why are they not doing that
It's
now?
a 2-day Corkin thing.
Oh, they don't have any matches announced for
New
that.
departure day 2. It's the 25th anniversary celebration.
Okay, so I assume they also don't have a card announced. So maybe they're going to announce the card later or after
Yeah,
this match.
maybe.
That looks
Maybe.
like the next big Noah show. Obviously, Ozawa versus Kano,
The next
Yohei
big
versus
Noah show
Hayata.
is Monday, you jerk. That's Wrestle Magic, you jerk.
Apologies. Is it the
Pay some
last
res
Wrestle Magic?
It's well, Monday Magic's over. It's now Wrestle Magic. It's the big one.
Oh, my apologies. What
Come on.
the card so far is what? Shuji Ishikawa versus Hayata, and Takumi Oroha versus Victoria Yuzuki.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, Joshi once again saves a Puro company. You're welcome.
Logan James in the chat. Hello. Maybe next one, Saya Kamatani loses the Stardom World title to Natsupoi. Then after that, she challenges Saraya at Wrestle Kingdom and wins the IWGP Women's Championship. Thoughts, Scotty?
Whoa, that's a lot. Holy shit. First of all, sorry, Logan. Sorry, Kamatani ain't losing that belt. If anything, she's gonna hold both of those belts at the same time. That's a lot. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that. I don't. It's not happening.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fine. Well,
Man, busy couple days. Whew. Been a busy
yeah.
week for me, admittedly. Lots to do, lots to work towards. Wrestling's great, but also, as we've been talking about a lot, kind of not great.
Yeah, Japan, I think, is having a really tough time. Mexico is
Puro. You can't
sir.
say off
My
Japan.
apologies, sir.
Japan, yeah, Puro. Thank you.
Fiero is having a real tough time. Joshi is having a good time, but no one other than outside Scotty Circle pays attention to Joshi, which sucks.
That's not
Uh,
my problem.
I agree. You're actually
People,
you're doing the effort to expand that.
yeah, buddy. People pay attention. Actually, a lot of people pay attention to Joshi. You're just on Blue Sky, so that's your problem.
People talk about Joshi on Blue Sky. They do. I don't know. What are you looking at me like that? They do. Probably. I think they do,
A lot
Scotty.
less.
I think just more of the
No
Joshi
news goes
fans are on
there,
Twitter.
so that probably doesn't help. Like, not a lot of news and stuff makes it to Blue Sky. So,
Yeah.
'cause, like, none of those accounts are on there.
Like I said, I think most of
Um,
the Joshi fandom is just on Twitter still.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, hey, listen, if you're a Joshi fan, you're living right now. If you're not,
They're struggling.
you better be an AEW fan.
Yeah,
Because
it is really
otherwise,
like Japan. Half of it's good, half of it is good, but like smaller eyes.
I
I
don't
guess
know many Puro fans happy with their company.
I don't know many either.
I don't know if Dragon Gate fans are.
I have no
I don't
idea.
think they're ever upset with their company, to be fair.
That's a fair point.
So I
A
think
great
that's
fair
part of it.
point. Mexico is currently getting invaded.
Oh, well, to be fair, no, let me rephrase. If you're not a Joshi fan, you better be an AEW or CMLL fan.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Mexico
where
is
you're
currently
thriving.
getting invaded.
It's
And then
okay. It's okay because We lost CMLL. CMLL wins all the time. Shuts out.
And then America, AEW, I think, is on a hot streak right now, and they're building up to All In Texas, and WWE, of course, Night of Champions.
I'm legitimately shocked AEW hasn't run themselves into something. They've been too hot, you know? Like,
surely something. So where's
like,
the gonna drop?
I don't want to be that guy, but I feel like there's always something. Especially
shoe,
with American companies.
yeah, the shoe dropping is like Moxley winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, that's the shoe
yeah.
drop.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. Everything is all steam ahead until that main event.
Mm-hmm.
That main event will determine the year for that company.
I was also thinking about this just now about, like, we're talking about Ospreay versus Zack Sabre Jr. What about Zack Sabre Jr. versus Danielson? We're getting these teases of Danielson returning. What about that?
Okay, well, that's different.
I know that's different.
That's different. If
We're
he's
getting the
coming back,
teases. He's technically
yeah.
already wrestled an 8-second match against Max
They
Caster.
put the belt on Zack Sabre Jr. so that Bryan Danielson can be IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
Fine.
You just
Fine.
go. I don't see a problem.
I think that turns everything around for me.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening. But
Me neither. This guy wants to be at home with his kids, not in Japan. He doesn't even want to be in America. Why does he want to be in Japan?
He only pops up in Mexico. Oh God. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing though. It's like I'm as a wrestling fan, I'm in a great mood. As a wrestling fan, if you're an AEW fan, you're in a great mood. Like I said, if you're a CMLL fan, you're a great mood. Maybe Lucha, you're not as much because there's a 50-50 thing going on there.
There's a lot of worries, I think.
Yeah. So like it's hard to be fully, but if you like CMLL, you're having a great time. If you like anything else,
so looks around at Europe. It's like a little was it a tumbleweed goes by.
Buddy, I don't know what you're talking about. Naito's gonna be there.
Oh yeah, that's true. And Naito and Bushi and Mercedes Moné as well.
And Mercedes Moné.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna join LIJ. What are they called now?
Los Tranquilos.
Yeah.
They have on.
Yeah.
A lot easier for me to say.
That seems fair.
Saying Ingobernables has always been a lovely tongue twister for me.
Yeah. L was not LTJ.
A night. Oh.
Was it TIJ? Hold on. LIJ TIJ.
Talk is Jericho?
Talk is Jericho.
No.
Los de Japón. Oh man. We should probably start talking about the show, shouldn't we?
We could, but we're also at the halfway point of the year.
We are at the halfway point of the year. That's a great point. How are we feeling? Okay, so where we left off with the overall yearly discussions is I made this whole thing about
we kind of just talked about half of it.
I guess we already kind of did, so we'll just lean more into that. Like I talked about how like it felt like 2024 was like a transitional year. That like things kind of just happened, but we're transitioning to something else, and I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. And I think you and I just kind of laid out the good and bad of like every promotion. Like it doesn't feel like anyone's just kind of like existing. It just feels like either people are succeeding or not.
Yeah.
And it's kind of and at the same time, what we're also transitioning to, and which a lot of people are already discussing and whatnot, is like these sort of this civil war of like the wrestling world is like taking place. People are picking sides between WWE, AEW. There's one side WWE, AAA.
People have been picking sides.
What's that?
I said you said people are picking sides. People have been picking sides for years.
I guess I should clarify.
Now it feels like we've just fully went to war now.
It's promotions are picking sides is the better thing there.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It's AEW has got like CMLL, Rev Pro, New Japan, Stardom. I don't know. I guess I might throw in MLW at this point. Whereas WWE has AAA, it has
TNA,
it has Noah, kind
Not
of.
really, though.
Not really, but kind of.
If Tavion Heights is back in the N1, I'll say so, which
I
would be
think there's
sick,
I
by the
think
way.
there's a
They're not.
likelihood there's an NXT person in the
They
N1
should
too.
put Tavion Heights back in the
Why
N1.
not?
Tavion Heights is good.
Why not?
Tavion Heights is too good for that company. That's
Just do
it.
just do Tavion Heights versus Ozawa one time.
For
That's all I'm
for
asking.
what it's worth, WWE doesn't really have a side. They either own AAA or it's TNA.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Like everyone's, but WWE is so big that they don't really need to have alliances.
Yeah.
That's always been the case. But yeah, people pick sides. I'm not saying there's a right side and a wrong side. I prefer to be in the middle. I guess
They
not
should
really.
do
I don't really
Ozawa
care.
versus Tavion Heights so that Ozawa comes out with a T-shirt that says "Property of Noah." that's that's my
Remember when Omos was in Noah?
Remember when Omos was in Noah? Then he got pulled from Noah,
And
went
then
back to
hasn't wrestled
WWE,
since.
and then he re-signed a contract at WWE during all of that.
Hey man, it's nice to get paid to do nothing. I would sign too.
Logan brings up the little part. It's a little partnership with Noah and Marigold. Marigold
That's
is
not. That's
so
not.
little to the point of one person.
That's not even like okay.
Scotty,
Not a thing.
Logan, you've opened up a rant.
It's just like people have been trying to do this for a year. It's not a thing. There's not an NXT wrestler there. There's never it's been one person. That's it. And that happened a year ago now.
When's Marigold's big show?
October.
If one WWE or NXT person shows up on that show,
not named Io Sky,
not named Io Sky, if she shows up again, then it's like
hello, it's just her.
It appears it's just her. If anyone else shows up, then I might say there's a partnership.
What if it's Julia, the person that?
That's again another stretch, sort of like, maybe Julia goes up, does a US. I don't know if Julia does a US title defense, something like that. Maybe.
Hey, now I know a lot of people are freaking out because 3 Marigold wrestlers are missing next weekend due to a US tour. So it's not WWE, but people like to think it is.
Where are they torn?
That is classified information.
Oh, I didn't know that information.
They are, but it was announced they're going to the US.
Okay,
for a weekend.
Is that classified information I might learn after this recording?
Anyways, how about Night of Champions?
Well, we were talking about the mid-year point.
Yeah.
We talked about the promotional aspect of things. What about the wrestler aspect of things? How are you feeling? Wrestler wise, mid-year point. As I pull up my list.
You really want me to say I hate men's wrestling? Is that what you're asking?
I think you said that a couple weeks ago, actually.
Yeah, well, I do.
Who's your top 10?
You don't want my top 10.
I imagine wildly different from mine.
I will tell you this though. My 2 top men's wrestlers. Can you guess them? I don't think you can. I think you can guess one of them. I was gonna say you can guess one. Yes.
And then I'm not going to be able to guess the other one?
I don't think so. At least not on your second guess. Maybe you will.
Would giving me the hint of a promotion be too much giving it away?
Absolutely.
Okay. I would say, who has Scotty been really? What about?
If you get this, then you just know me too well, and that's why we do podcasts.
I mean, my immediate guess would be. I mean, that being said, my immediate guess would then be either Mystico or Evil.
They don't have the years.
I don't think it'd be Evil. I think if anything, it would be Mystico. But
Mystico is 8th out of men.
8th out of men? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I know.
It's Mascara Dorada.
I looked at his name right before you said that. I said I don't think I know, and as I said that, I looked at Mascara Dorada on my list. Darn it! That's fair. Mascara Dorada is actually number 10 for me overall.
My top 10 men, which I find fascinating.
Top 10 men. Top 10 men.
Konosuke Takeshita.
Is this number 1?
Yes, this is yes. Kyle Fletcher,
No, nice.
Hiroki Goto,
Oh.
Mystico, Hangman Page, and Neon.
Neon popping up in there. You love to see it. You love to see it.
All of El Sky team made it. Shouts out.
My top 10 men.
Top 10 men.
Osprey. Will Osprey.
Shocked. Holy shit.
Kyle Fletcher.
Shocked. Holy shit.
Kenny Omega.
Shocked. Holy shit.
Konosuke Takeshita.
Shocked.
This might be a swerve for you, Scotty. And no, not swerve.
Is it Gabriel?
No, Ricochet.
Oh, show some love!
You know I gotta show some love to
Show
Ricochet.
some love! Oh, Ricochet!
I think this is. I saw this today, and I'm like, how is this guy rated so high? Speedball Mike Bailey. I don't know how this guy's rated this high. I'm kind of shocked. That's a shock to me. I'm like, huh? Why? I got to relook back at this stuff because that was shocking to me. Then it's David Finlay, Hiromu Takahashi, Mascara Dorada. And is that 10?
Huh?
What's that?
Did you say Hiromu?
I said Hiromu. Yes.
The guy that you hate?
Yeah, I know. He's in my top 10 men. Then Mascara Dorada, and then Zack Sabre Jr.
For what it's worth, my boy, my guy, Ricochet's climbing. My guy, he just pops me incredibly. If it helps, I just learned that hologram is 11th.
Very good.
Hologram.
Was your top 10? What man?
Speedball Mike Bailey, by the way, out of nowhere.
I saw that this morning. I was like, huh? Really? Speedball Mike Bailey.
Did he do anything before AEW? To get you?
I have him. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 4-star matches from Speedball Mike Bailey.
So the 3-way.
Let me see if I can pull up
a tag match or two.
He was in a couple of those all-star multi-mans, I believe. I feel
like he's only been in AEW for like a month.
So okay, this is what I got from Speedball. All right. 4-star matches. The 4-way for the AEW International Title Eliminator Tournament. This is Mike Bailey, Mark Davis, Orange Cassidy, and Ricochet. I have I think this was an all-star multi-man. Kevin Knight, Mark Briscoe, Will Ospreay, and Mike Bailey versus Leo Rush, Action Andretti, Ricochet, and Beast Mortos.
I remember that.
Then I have Jet Speed versus the Young Bucks on a Dynamite.
I remember that.
I have this is probably also an all-star match. Ricochet, Okada, the Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega, Mike Bailey, Mark Briscoe, and Kevin Knight.
Big singles guy, Mike Bailey.
he's getting through. And then another 4-star match. Ricochet and the Young Bucks versus Swerve Strickland, Mike Bailey, and Mark Briscoe.
So you just love the tags that they've been doing with Jet Speed. That's clearly what I'm hearing here.
Yeah. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I mean, they're very good. I didn't expect them to get them to top 10. But
I mean, either. I'm kind of shocked.
I also heard Hiromu, so that was a stunner.
Yeah,
because you don't like Hiromu, but I guess you do.
Give me your top 10 women.
Okay.
Would it be more fun if I did if I went first, or should you go first?
Sure. Let me react to you first. Mine's
because yours is going to be accurate, I think.
Mine's going to be pretty on par with what you'd expect from me,
and I think mine will be more of a.
This is going to break my brain. Just go.
Number 1, Suri.
Okay. Not all hope is lost. Okay.
Number 2, and I imagine will eventually be overtaken. Tam Nakano.
Okay. That's fine.
Number 3, Saya Kamatani.
Okay, that's fine.
Number 4, Shuri.
Okay, that's fine.
Number 5, Mayu Iwatani.
Okay, that's fine. This is
Number 6, Mercedes Moné.
That's fine. I have no problems with this so far.
Number 7, Mako Satomura.
Big pop. All right. That's 2 retired wrestlers. Okay.
Real recognize real. I had to show some love.
You're doing a good. Show some love. Sorry.
What number am I at?
Is this next one bad? Oh no, you were at Mako. So
number 8, Tony Storm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that I get that. I
I'll
get it.
allow it. I'll allow it.
Number 9, Azame.
Sure.
I think I just need to watch more Azame matches. Really, is what it is.
I think
I'm
you just
behind on
need to
Stardom.
watch more a lot. But yeah,
Number 10, Big Hosh.
big pop.
Not bad. Not a bad list. I think.
No, I'm proud of you actually.
Thank you. Thank you.
That
Now, what's
was
the
that.
correct list?
I'm not saying this is correct list, but this is I watch Joshi, so guess what? This is gonna be all Joshi. That was a really good really good list, Ryan, considering obviously you don't watch every little match like I do. So I'm very impressed by your list. That's
Appreciate it.
probably the best women's list you've ever had.
Thank you. Thank you. I think there's an insult in there, but thank you.
No, that's not an insult, but like I don't know. I feel like you would always have like one massive sneak, but all of those made sense in like Wrestler of the Year conversations.
Number 11 is Jamie Hayter.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. She has like 3 matches this year.
Yeah. Well, she also had that Alex Windsor match, which was legitimately.
Oh
Good.
yeah, that people can forget that one.
Yeah. I think
good
that I'm also behind just watching like Stardom in general. Like I know there's like some Saya Kamatani defenses and stuff.
If
that
you
like,
named like, I'm trying to think of like someone out of the woodwork that I'd be like, huh? Be like, come again?
I think if I extended this list into like the next 10, you would be like, what the fuck, Ryan?
Yeah, it's probably safe.
I'm looking at the list of the next 10, and I think that is what will infuriate you.
I think what I was waiting for was an indie wrestler or something. I don't know why. You don't watch those anymore though, so I'm not.
No,
Like in your past list, that would be something on there.
I think the highest indie wrestler person is probably someone like a Danny Luna. Right? I mean, Alex Windsor, I guess, is higher than Danny Luna, but she just got signed to AEW, so maybe her. I'm looking at this. Yeah, I guess Alex Windsor is probably like the highest like indie wrestler, but she just got signed to AEW, and Alex Windsor is number 36 of ranked women this year for me.
That I mean, she's not. Well, she just signed, right?
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like she's the highest indie
like
wrestler, but she also just got signed. She is in between Mariah May and Nanai Takahashi. Yeah, that's where Scotty breaks. that's where Scotty breaks. I haven't seen a lot of Nanai this year, to be fair.
All right, let's do my list. Number 1, sorry.
Number 2,
Nanai Takahashi.
Oh, what a perfect setup.
To be fair, she's tied with Mayu for number 2, but for the bit, I had to say her second.
Gotta.
Mayu number 2, so they're tied for 2. Starlight Kid, Chihiro Hashimoto, Tam Nakano, so a lot of similarities still. Victoria Yuzuki,
yeah,
Saya Kamatani, Hanan,
yeah, baby,
and Seiri Yamaoka, which might get me killed. Shuri's also tied for 10th. Shuri's also hurt.
You could have saved yourself by saying Shuri instead.
I'm not here to save myself. I'm here to pump up the beasts of Joshi. It happens to be the super rookie who's 6 months in. I don't give a shit. People can fight me all they want. I'm right here. I'm here. But yeah, Shuri just said now she's going on hiatus. So that's tough.
She did?
Today. She announced she's going on hiatus.
Did she give a timeline?
Nope. She said she's dealing with long-term injuries and she's going to take a break and she's going to come back and hopefully win the IWGP Women's title back. So that 5-star Grand Prix is just taking
she's gone. I'm going to say probably a year. That's going to be my guess.
She said she wants to train overseas, so maybe you'll get a little bit of maybe she's not actually too hurt. Maybe it's part of a thing she wants to do here. I mean, she's definitely going to recover a little bit. Because she has wrestled every single month. Let me rephrase. She hasn't taken a break since August of 2019.
Yeah.
Like she's been full time, full schedule, never miss a show type. So
do you think it's a hiatus from wrestling or hiatus from Stardom? Because you said the overseas.
You said from Stardom. But that's I
She
don't
going
know.
overseas with FWC?
God, don't get me started with FWC. You want? Don't. Just don't. We live in a bad timeline where Hazuki doesn't matter at all, and I hate it.
Yeah.
Didn't hear her on our list. She should be there, but she's not.
Where is Suzuki on my list? Oh, she's low. She's way too
She's
low.
so as someone who watches Joshi all the time, would you like to hear where she's on mine? 30th.
30th?
That's really bad.
She's at 47 for me.
Right. And you don't watch every Joshi match. So like that probably tracks more. Very sad. Very sad times.
Wrestling. Do you think
Depressing.
it's been a good year so far? It's been an interesting year.
For what?
Just wrestling.
Yeah,
Talking mid-year.
I think so. I think it's been a pretty good year. WWE's falling, everyone else is rising. So that's a win.
Yeah, we talked about it. Is that like I talked about it in the past couple of years of the show of like it's it's wrestling does not exist on the plane of like rising tide raises all ships. That's
Right.
not how that works. If WWE's
No, it
popular,
does.
no one else is popular. And now that WWE is getting less popular, people are be like, okay, let's
Yeah.
go.
I mean, they're still popular.
Sure.
You know.
But then now they're on the down slope. People are now checking out other stuff finally.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, I think wrestling, funny enough, has been good. We're just ending the first half with bad news of Goto losing, so that's tough. No, I think wrestling's been good. Again, for my expertise and where I watch, it's been great. A lot of retirement ceremonies and stuff, which is tough, but that's been a part of the build and everything. And I think AEW has done a great job at kind of figuring themselves out to a consistency now rather than listen, AEW is still not perfect, and anyone that says it is just lying to themselves.
I don't think
But you know
anything
what?
is perfect.
No one's perfect. Exactly. They don't need to be perfect, but they are building towards their biggest show ever in the US, and it feels like it. And you gotta appreciate that. WWE's pretty bad, and that's pretty great. But that's let's not just sit here and lie. I have no problem seeing them be bad, and I don't think anyone else does either. It feels like WWE is doing what AEW did to themselves the past few years. It's like shooting themselves in the foot every single step they can, right? Like, and that's maybe a little bit extreme for AEW, but so many times you and me, or mostly me, were like, "What are we doing here?" Now it's like, and I don't give a shit about WWE enough to ever say that. Mostly, it's just like, "Ha, you stink." But like they botched the John Cena retirement tour. That's the greatest accomplishment in the history of Triple H as a booker. Like it's already downhill. They had a layup and they said, how can we make this worse? And they have nailed it.
Whereas AEW has been, like you said, very consistently good to great this year. And that consistency also comes in consistent dynamites weekly.
I mean, this is literally coming in a year where I said at one point, I'm gonna stop watching Dynamite as much. Like I said that this year.
Yes.
I lied. I still watch. I still watch it. Never. It happened like one whole week, and I was like, "Oh, I think that's literally where the swing started of like them getting on a nice momentous run." So you're welcome, everyone.
Yeah,
I was heard in my Slack messaging to Ryan. It was reported to Tony Khan that I needed things to be picked up.
And the good news is that consistency has built themselves up to All In Texas, which will kick off the next half of their year, which will really, as we already said, define the rest of their year.
Yeah, you know what? I will say what's funny about AEW is that AEW is always better when a certain someone becomes a center point of their company. Always. And yet they put it off for a couple of years, and AEW had some ups and downs. But now that Hangman Page is back in the fold as the guy, everything just clicks around it. Like, no one's batting an eye at the fact that Ospreay and Swerve are facing the Young Bucks. Everyone's like, fuck yeah, that's awesome, right? Like, for some reason, if that was a year ago, everyone was like, why is this the match at All In? Why are these guys, now it's like, no, Hangman's in that match. We got Okada and Omega. I don't care. This is great. Like that's what you do when you book the rest of the card great. No one's going to bat an eye at your 2 top stars being in a tag team match. You know why? Because 1, it's gonna be great, and 2, it feels big. So it's like, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's like the fascinating thing watching AEW as someone who obviously doesn't live and die with every decision they make. Um, but has enjoyed it because they're just making great decisions, for the most part. I will say this though, 2 casino battle royales on one show is kind
I
of
yeah.
driving me
I
insane.
don't necessarily like the idea of
I
2.
wanted to I actually wanted to bring that up to you because I was like, that seems like overkill.
Yeah, I much prefer if we just had the 1, and I think the women's one makes so much more sense this year,
Yeah,
especially if we are I don't think we're combining the titles, but if we're putting probably all the titles on Mercedes Moné, it
right.
feels like, the women's casino battle royal
We
makes
preview
so much
that next
more
week, fun fact.
sense. Oh my god, yes, we are. It's coming around the corner
Pretty
very soon.
cool, isn't it? I
Yeah.
learned that was in 2 weekends. I was like,
The
"Oh,
the
shit."
men's one, I'll say, we'll talk about this more next week, but the men's one feels more like maybe a Takeshita winning, is where I'm feeling, and then going after Kenny or Okada.
That's cool. I mean, I
That's
know he goes right to the G1 the week after. Um,
good point. Good point.
so,
Well, because yeah, when do they have those? They win a title shot, right? That's the idea.
yes, so he can use it whenever he wants. Well, I mean, last year it was a cash-in, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, good
Um,
point. Good,
yeah,
great
I'm
point.
gonna assume we're gonna fix that this time,
Yeah, I guess we'll
because
find
that
out.
was bad.
We'll find out
Yeah,
more on that.
I think the thing about All In as a whole, and we'll get to Night of Champions soon.
Yeah,
Um, I think the thing about All In as a whole is that one is obviously a very exciting card, but those casino battle royales, what are they called? Are they called that? They're
yep.
not a battle royal, so I don't. No, it's Gauntlet. Gauntlet's the Gauntlet.
Casino Gauntlet. Yeah,
Yes, which are fun
which
matches.
we're slightly comparing it with the length, but the fact that it's a Casino Gauntlet, Scotty, means that it could also end in like 5 minutes.
There's a great bit where the women's one goes 5 minutes. Um,
I would argue great bit, but I think you're right that
and,
it could go
well,
that short.
great bit as in me just getting a good laugh out of it because, like, holy shit, how did you do that on this show?
Yeah,
But yeah, okay. So this actually brings up a great conversation point that I'd like to have with you.
sure.
I think the fighting for the number one spot in the gauntlet is stupid
Why do you think it's stupid?
because no one's ever won immediately. So it's like I would like if they could just pick their spot or
Well,
like
then
you can just go in when you want. That would be
that's
fun.
that
Like
would be
pick your
interesting.
spot type thing. Like, oh shit, they're both down. Hit my music, and then you're in the gauntlet.
I think the problem is that they are saying they're treating the number one spot like the number 30, right?
Yes, right.
Um,
That's the point of having these matches. I
and
understand.
that's what they're trying to hit, like trying to build it up as a historically significant number, as like, oh, this is an important thing.
Yeah. I think the
Uh,
casino gauntlet would need to end in 5 minutes for it to
I
fully have
I
that go.
yes, I think
Obviously, no one wants that to happen.
they really need someone, the one or number two person,
To
to
win.
really the number one person to win,
Yeah.
to really establish the value of wanting to be number one. And
Yes.
realistically, I don't think they can do it this year, right? Well, they could, I guess. It would be fun. But they could do it this year of just having the number one person win. That being said, the men's is Mark Briscoe, and I don't, as much as I would love that, Scotty, I don't think that's a reality. And then the women's is Chris Statlander, which seems totally plausible, right? I think that's entirely plausible. But really, at sometime soon, this year would be great for that, for
Mm,
the first entrant to win, the number one entrant to win, and then really establish the historical significance of, because you
yes.
can't just like, really what it is that they're just saying that it's like important, but we
Yes.
don't really know that's important. I would love to
Right.
see the
Like, does it feel important to be number one?
all
Because
right, here we go. Here we go.
Osprey won from number one, I
There have
guess.
been 6 casino gauntlets. Ready?
Holy shit. Okay.
Yes, I'm actually shocked by that as well. Wait,
This is the first one
was there
since
6?
last year, though.
Was there
Yeah,
6?
because remember they kept running it, like, a lot? They
Did they
ran, like,
already
3 of them in, like, a few months span. Not at all they weren't all at All In.
hold on, hold on. They're saying they already did a women's one. in January of this year.
They did.
They're saying that there was a casino gauntlet match for an AEW Women's World Championship match at Grand Slam Australia. Toni Storm won by pinning Julia Hart.
That did happen.
I remember that, but was
That's
that a
where Megan
casino
Bayne
gauntlet
debuted.
match?
Yeah, because that's where Megan Bayne debuted.
Oh, you're right. So they already have done a women's one. All right.
Yeah, no, that's not the worry. That people just wanted it on the big show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there have been 6 of them. Ospreay won the first one. He won at drew number 5. Ospreay won the second one. He drew number 4. Christian Cage won it all in. Drew number 11.
Okay.
They did
my number 1 face.
They did a tag title one on a Dynamite in 2024. Ospreay and Fletcher won, and they drew number 2.
That. Okay.
Powerhouse Hobbs won on Dynamite at number 7. Toni Storm won at number 6.
They really like this match.
They've done it 6 times between April 24, 2024 of last year.
Holy shit. That is a lot.
5 of those times, by the way, on Dynamite.
And never once has number 1 won.
No. The closest we got is number 2.
Interesting. Well, I guess it's not that bad. Whatever. I always think
it feels worse.
Fighting for when you get in, like, I understand number 1's like the idea of the match is it can end at any time, but the match has never ended at a time where I feel like that's a worry, if that makes sense. But it's just me being picky. Overall, my main pickiness is having 2 on the same show, but we'll see how that goes.
The average draw there is 5.833 repeating. If you get in at like 5 or 6, you have the odds of potentially winning, basically.
Yeah, because you're a little more fresher.
Yeah, that's the pick your spot is coming at number 6.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's like pick your spot type thing. I think that would be fun.
Pick your spot. All right. Well, that's Casino Gauntlet. That's All in Texas. We'll talk about more of All in Texas, obviously, next week.
Full preview. That show's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. How about that?
Yeah, next week we got some good stuff. We got All in Texas. We got Supercard of Honor, Bandito versus Takeshita, baby. Get into that. And then we also got Saturday night's main event, Goldberg. Maybe retirement match, probably winning the world title. And plus, there's also some indie shows. I know there's another Dean show. I think Tokyo Joshi Pro is doing a show.
You know what I did? Yeah, there are some indie shows. You know what I said about Night of Champions? Like, this show's missing Goldberg. Evolution's the Sunday, right?
Yes, Evolution is also happening that Sunday, which we'll talk about. There's also an NXT show on the Saturday, going against All in Texas. So I don't know if we'll necessarily review the show, but we might bring it up just as like, hey,
Obafemi versus question mark
for NXT.
Oh my god! I just saw the spoiler of who he's facing for that show.
Well, who is it? Ricky Starks?
Fucking Yoshiki Inamura. The match might be kind of good, but that's crazy.
Do you think, unlike Noah, NXT is going to belt up Yoshiki Inamura?
No. I like the idea of the combat against All In. The biggest show AEW's ever had is Yoshiki Inamura.
Get into it, baby. Get into it.
Like, that's great. I forgot that's happening. Oh, wait, that's where you're going, Ryan. It's in Atlanta. You're going to that instead of watching.
I'm not going to any of these shows, brother.
I would go to I would try to go to Evolution, but that's because I like women's wrestling, unlike Ryan.
Damn it. I think I've looked up. Let me look up.
Home run.
Let me look up.
I'm sure the tickets are not. I'm sure the tickets are not good.
Yeah, I don't think I can afford it. I think that's the big thing. I could maybe afford the NXT show, but that's probably sold out. I mean, that's at Center Stage, and that's a tiny ass theater.
That's cool though. Center Stage is good.
Yeah, it's a nice little spot, but it's also like so tiny, and it would be crazy if those tickets.
The show's sick. It's JC Jane versus Jordan Grace. That's beast.
What the fuck?
Ryan's face for the ticket was great. He's.
I'm looking at
what?
Center Stage Theater is tiny. It probably sits easily less than 1,000 people. the cheapest ticket, and these are all standard admission. Here we go. Cheapest ticket, not a resale. Cheapest ticket. Section C, row G, $243. I have gone to TNA, I've gone to GCW, I've gone to other shows that run center stage. 20, 30, maybe $40.
Mhm.
I have never seen a center stage show that much. That is
That's ridiculous.
fucking crazy.
I'm now looking at Evolution tickets. Let's see.
I am.
Oh!
Are they good? Are they good? Are they good seats? Good seats?
Well, those were good seats that I looked at. But 127 for bleachers.
127 for bleachers. That's not.
Oh, there is one. Okay, so there isn't bad. There's 61 for bleachers. Okay, so this is at least a bit
Okay.
more
Oh,
appropriate.
I got even better. Are you looking at the 2-day pass for Saturday night's main event as well? Or are you looking at just Evolution?
No. I'm just looking at just Evolution.
I'm looking at just Evolution. Bleachers in the 200s. I've sat in there before and I didn't, and I got vertigo when I had the move. 5160.
Okay, so these aren't as bad.
No, these are not bad.
And if you want a floor seat, they're disgusting with that. Oh, actually, they're not even bad for floor seats. Okay, this is actually not bad.
Yeah, I'm seeing sick. I get a floor seat in the 105. I think I was in 105 for the Childish Gambino concert. 68.35.
Okay, well that's good for Evolution. So that show will
No,
do well. That's nice.
is there anything to say, Scotty, that the one show a year that WWE is making their tickets extremely cheap is for the women's pay-per-view? Is that
All right.
anything? Is there something to read into that?
Hold. Let's not call this extremely cheap. This is normal pricing. The one show they make normal pricing. That says that probably a lot. But listen, I'm happy because if I had the opportunity, I'd go. As long as EO gets a match.
She probably will, right?
But I have just learned this. So this weekend of shows, right? There's a lot of shows in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That we have to watch.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to watch Goldberg and his 20-minute masterclass after watching All In?
Feels like
pretty easily, I'm sure.
I was about to put myself in a corner here, Scotty, and I going to
Don't put yourself in the corner.
I was going to say maybe we do a Ring Post Radio nights to give us some time in the morning to watch some shows and make sure we're all caught up. And then I thought, well, then that would be us going up against the women's pay-per-view.
I'm not going against the women's pay-per-view. That's the only good WWE show that weekend.
And me, knowing the bit that you like to do with me, cannot suggest that.
Buddy, the bat was ready. I was just going to swing it in another home run. Like, we were ready. We were ready.
I had to play some defense there.
Yeah, good save.
Yeah, I guess we just have to do it in the morning and then just do the best we can.
Yeah.
I
mean, buddy, you have to watch a 5-minute Goldberg match. You'll be fine.
That's true. That's true.
Because we're only going to talk about All In. Let's just be honest here, folks. We're going to talk about All In for about 95% of the show.
Yeah.
And then we'll be like, oh yeah, by the way, Goldberg's match, it stunk. There you go. That's going to be the show.
Takeshita Bandito ruled.
Oh, well, Ring of Honor, we'll have plenty of time. We'll watch that on the Friday.
Yeah, that'd be fine. And at some point this weekend, we got to squeeze in Superman.
This is gonna have to go Friday. You're
gonna skip Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor
during the day. Yeah. I don't have a job.
When does All In Texas start? Is that
3?
3? I can squeeze in Superman as a matinee.
Well, that's a pretty good day. That's a lot of watching. It's a lot of. Hopefully, you have good eyes.
I'm wearing glasses. Well,
I'm wearing glasses. I do want to. You made me want to check. I'm making sure Japan's pretty chill that weekend.
Just check real quickly because we don't have a lot of time left, and we still need to talk about Night of Champions.
Yeah. I know. The answer is no. Japan.
What are you looking?
Oh, Kobe Worlds that weekend too.
Oh my god!
For Dragon Gate, which I feel like if we were ever to talk about a show from Dragon Gate,
do we have a card yet for that or no?
We do.
Oh my god! My god!
Give me 1 second. Un minuto, por favor. That's right.
Can you say it in Japanese?
Dragon Kid and Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Yuki Yoshioka and Dragon Dia. Excuse me?
That's fascinating.
Dragon Kid and Hiroshi Tanahashi. That's kind of sick.
That is kind of cool.
That's very cool. Okay. 1 second. Got the full card. Lock in. Peep game. Oh, so this is on July 13th. We won't be able to talk about the show. It's the morning of. So
Yeah.
that's fine. I will watch some of it though.
I'll be too busy watching Goldberg versus Gunther.
Here is your I'll just give you the main matches. I'm not giving you this undercard bullshit.
Yeah.
The Gaora TV Championship 5-way match.
The Gaora TV. Is that an All Japan title?
Think so.
All right.
Takashi defends against KZ, Naruki Doi, Masaki Mochizuki, and Kai. It's a lot of good wrestlers in that match.
Yeah.
All right. I'm intrigued. And it's a 5-way match in Dragon Gate, so like feels like that's kind of their thing, right? A lot of people.
Oh, aren't we? I want to say All Japan is in the midst of a Z-Brats invasion.
Yeah, they are. You're right. No DQ match.
I imagine a Z-Brat member is going to win the title.
Kai.
Yeah, there we go.
No DQ match. Strong Machine J versus Madoka Kikuta.
All right.
Play the video. This guy stinks. Shouts out to me. Open the Brave Gate Championship. UT versus Ryoya Tanaka. I like that guy.
Okay.
He's the I don't know. He looks like what Shota Umino looked like before he fell off a cliff. Or whatever he did. Like I said, Yuki Yoshioka, Dragon Dia versus Dragon Kid and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Like Tanaka has the nice hair and like the nice pants, when Shota Umino had hope and dreams and potential.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at him now.
Yeah, you see him? You see what I mean? Like he has the color. She has the blue and pink.
Blue and pink sort of thing.
Yeah, that's what Shota
he
used
sort
to
of looks like Dragon Kid a little bit. I don't know why.
Dragon Kid wears a mask.
Then I'm trying Dragon Dia. That's right. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, they're in the same faction, so that's why they have the same color and stuff. Anyways,
at least the picture.
Open Triangle Gate 3-way match. Dear God, Ishin, Yoshiki, Kato, and Hamare versus Luis Monte, Flamita, and Bendito. Versus Jackie Kamei, Rita, and Mochizuki Jr. That's probably going to be crazy.
Remember,
I love Flamita. Don't talk shit about Flamita. Shout out to Monica Flamita.
Remember Luis Monte? Luis Monte?
Yeah, I sure do. I just said his name. Obviously, I remember him.
Such a big guy at Dragon Gate, and then he lost his mask, and then that was kind of it. It just feels
he won the title, and then he stopped.
Yeah,
they had him win the title when he lost his mask. I liked Diamante when he had his mask. Tag title match does not interest me. Kota Minoura and Jason Lee versus Ben K and Hyo.
Okay.
And your main event, Open the Dream Gate. If he loses, he's out of the company. Yamato versus Shun Skywalker.
All right, that's a juicy main event. Holy shit!
If Shun loses, he leaves Dragon Gate.
Which
feels worth noting because today he was X for Tsuji and Shingo Takagi at Tanahashi Jam.
Notable.
Very notable. Timing is everything.
Tanahashi also on the show.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. I saw somewhere recently that like someone on Blue Sky I think was saying that like it feels like New Japan needs like some more new blood, and they should just like round up some guys from other Japanese promotions. Then Shun Skywalker.
Is that an AEW fan that said that of just poach people?
Yeah, probably.
They should take on. So you're right.
So you're telling me obviously the next year's the 2026 storyline is Shun Skywalker joining House of Torture and slowly winning and taking it over from within. Hey?
That's a fascinating title match with the loser leaves aspect.
Yeah, legitimately, especially when they're already somewhat teasing maybe something.
I appreciate New Japan playing part of the bit, even if he's winning that match,
Yeah, I
because
agree.
putting him in that IWGP on that big show, not IWGP, but that big show, whatever.
Yeah,
You,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah. Very good.
That's
Very
all.
good.
That's a
A lot of
very busy weekend,
very busy week. A lot to talk about next week.
and we'll
Almost as
only
much as to
talk
talk
about
about
it.
this week. Scott.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We got so much to
The
talk
sad
about.
reality is that I think we're out of time. I don't think we'll be able to get to
Oh,
Night of Champions topic.
ooh, Kazusada Higuchi won the DDT title.
I
Sorry,
saw that. I saw that this morning.
that's good.
2 title switches in Japan.
And I have a Marigold Cork in that week. Dear fucking
Is there a title match on that yet or no?
God. It's gonna be Utami versus Takumi double title match.
Well, make it a bigger week.
Pretty big one.
Make it a bigger week.
Pretty big one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy shit. That's a lot of stuff, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry that we couldn't talk Night of Champions. I really
Yeah.
am.
It was, I think if you
I
listen
read
to
show of the year continuously on the timeline. A lot of people celebrated the final Cena versus Punk match.
yeah. Because
That
it
nothing
was
went.
just if I recall, it was just I mean, my eyes obviously were glued on the screen all day Saturday.
Oh, of course, of course.
So but for whatever reason I don't remember. It was just like a one-on-one kind of match. There was no
Yeah,
it was just like
one
Money in
on
the Bank, right?
one. John Cena went back to babyface.
Oh yeah, it was like because it was just
Yeah,
They just did Money in the Bank again, right?
right. They ran it back completely,
CM
and
Punk blew a kiss.
yeah, yeah. CM Punk did a lot of things. Um,
You blew a kiss to that one kid.
but we can't talk about it, so it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, we
Sorry,
don't have.
guys.
Sadly, we're out of time. I know that. I think if you listened last week, you would have known that we really wanted to talk about the show, and we were dying to
Yeah,
talk about it.
yeah.
It's
I had
disappointing.
fun today.
I had fun. I think we had a good conversation. It's just disappointing
We
that we didn't get to the topic we really wanted to talk about.
good time to remind the people if you did listen to open the door to the folks that we said we almost might not do a show at all this week. So instead, you got 2 hours of
Great
quality
quality.
topics, so much so that we just couldn't get to Night of Champions.
Yeah, and that's really and that's on us. Look, we
Which
take our
is
job
tough.
seriously. We
I'm the
take.
one that wrote the title.
I
I
said
said
this.
Night of Champions 2025 review.
I said at the top of the show. We take our job extremely seriously.
More seriously than any other podcasters ever.
And it's disappointing that like we could not. I mean, we don't have the Patreon anymore, so we can't do the overrun. You know what I mean? Like we can't do
Yeah.
we can't do more conversations. Like, we have to stop, and it sucks.
Yeah, we have to stop at 2 hours.
It
We
really
totally
sucks.
won't go over in 2
and
weeks when we review all in.
long-time listeners know that we are strict with that 2 hours.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We never go over.
Yeah.
Though to be fair, last week we didn't hit 2 hours either. So we're really keeping it up.
Yeah.
We've hit it, like you said, the Patreon's gone. We now have to stop. Full stop.
Yeah.
We're against the clock right now. We got to get our match of the weekend and plugs before we run out of time.
And those always take too much time, weirdly.
Way too much, admittedly.
We'll like stop
Kind
the
of-
show and I look at it. It's like 10 minutes of plugs and match of the week. What are we doing?
Because here's the problem. I always find something else to talk about. It's my bad.
Yeah. You're right. It is your bad. Scotty, what is your match of the week and what are some plugs?
Fuck. First of all, I finally did watch Mystico Dorado versus Bandito Hologram. Great stuff.
Yeah.
That's not my match of the week, but because it was yours last week, so just want
Dude,
I want to see how long I
I
keep clapping before you're like, oh, you want to shut up? All right, match of the week from this week. I watched a lot of I did a lot of catching up this week, so like I don't know. Some things that maybe were great to other people just ended up being whatever to me.
Sure.
Funny story. I tried to watch Dynamite last night, and this is not a shot at Dynamite because I've tried to watch it 4 times this week, and then I get busy, or something. Last night, I finally put it on. Kota Ibushi walks out. I fell right to sleep.
Oh boy.
Right to sleep, and I was like, shit. And it wasn't his fault because he was looking good.
Yeah, his body's looking better. He doesn't have that pouch anymore, you know?
Yeah, he doesn't. He looks more like Kota Ibushi, not just a normal dude.
Yeah.
Like
Thank God.
Kota Ibushi, when he came back, we're just like, oh, this guy's just he kind of looks like a normal guy. He looks like Kota Ibushi more so now. Kota Ibushi versus Okada's happening this week. That's pretty
Pretty
crazy.
cool. Yeah, we get
It's a
Dynamite 300 and
I don't
Collision
know if
100.
I don't know if I want to say cool yet. I'm not very excited for either of their work lately.
Well, I talked about it, like, I messaged this to you Slack, is that I think the Ibushi Trent Beretta match is like, all right, this was better. My expectations were on the floor, right? That was where the bar was. And I think it went, what did I give it? I think I gave it like
We don't raise the bar.
I gave it 2 and 3
Put it.
quarters.
Put the other one up. No, other arm.
Don't they? But don't they point to each other?
Yeah, but you have to point at me. You're not pointing at me. We are the bar. Nice.
Oh, is my image flip? Is that why?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Because on my screen, I'm doing the right thing. Good to know. Yeah, I think I gave it like 2 and 3 quarters.
That's pretty good for a Kota Ibushi match now.
I was like, that's what I'm saying. I was like, that's pretty good. It was a totally fine match, but yes,
it was mostly a certified. It was a normal like squash type thing. It was just
yeah. And it's one of those things of like, I'm not gonna I'm gonna not fully judge Ibushi whether or not he's back also off of that match.
Okada, he's never
Okada,
going to be back. Let's just
agree.
Let's stress this. He's never going to be back. Like Kota Ibushi of 5 years ago, never coming back.
Yeah, I agree.
But if we can get Kota Ibushi like 70%, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, and I think we'll probably get that. Okada, I think, is really where we're going to judge Ibushi off of.
I feel like if Okada's ever going to try on Dynamite, this might be the one.
I pray to God,
because it's Ibushi, like that should move him, right?
Yeah, but that was if I'm not mistaken, was that the last match, I believe, for Ibushi in New Japan?
When he injured himself. Yeah.
So there's a redemption here.
Kind of crazy that Ibushi won 2 straight G1s, was in 4 straight finals, and then never wrestled again.
Yeah,
for that company.
Yeah,
I really like him.
Never will be.
Never will. No. But hey, he's back. You know, I gotta say this. When I saw him pop up on Collision, I was like, huh? Mm-hmm. I was like, him? Really? He looked great. I'm one of the okay, we can move on from Kota Ibushi guys. But hey, give it a shot. How was Dynamite?
It's pretty good. It was pretty good.
Was Roger Strong versus Mark Briscoe versus Konosuke Takeshita versus Bandito as amazing as I hope it was?
It was really good. I went 3.5. You might have a higher ceiling on that, but I went 3.5. I don't know what people.
Hangman Page versus the Beast Mortos fun?
Yes, I also went 3.5.
Shout out to the main eventer of the Beast Mortos, by the way.
Yeah. Cage match has the 4-way at 7.5, the main event at 6.99.
6.99,
basically a 7, basically a 3.5. So, yeah, but people had the 4-way ranked higher than me, so that's good to know for that.
That's fun.
Yeah, I mean we didn't talk about it, but there's Dynamite 300 and Collision 100 this week.
Pretty crazy how that lined up.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly.
Let me look what's happening on Collision 100.
I can tell you right now. They got one match.
I'm looking at it.
FTR versus the Outrunners.
If that's not the epitome of how they feel about those two shows, I don't know what else is.
Dynamite, of course, so far, I was like we said, Ibushi versus Okada, Mercedes Moné versus Mina Shirakawa for the TBS title. I'm sure that'll be a title switch.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then look, Scotty, we talked about how the number 1 spot is super important, but they're doing a 4-way match for the number 2 spot, a spot where someone has actually won before.
Yay!
AR Fox versus Anthony Bowens versus MJF versus Brody King.
Oh, I wonder who's winning that match.
Gotta be AR Fox, right?
I can't believe you just had the audacity to tell me AR Fox, Anthony Bowens, Brody King, 3 guys who never win any matches ever, and then MJF.
Yeah.
They didn't really try to hide that one on me. That's cool though. I like I don't mind fighting for the number 2 spot too. I think that makes sense. If you're gonna do 1, why not do 2? Hey, cool for AR Fox. He seems to get back in the rotation. Took
Yeah,
2
they
years.
even doing a little bit where he's like, "Oh, he's finally getting pushed, getting up some wins." So
You
same
know
thing.
what they
Like,
should do?
what's that?
They should show some love for Ricochet. I think he should have a bigger match than just the Casino Gauntlet.
Well, they're he's in the midst of getting him a crew to join him, and it looks like that might be the Gates of Agony.
So he's getting a crew, and it's not gonna be the crew.
No, 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 no. It looks like it's gonna be
Um,
the Gates of Agony, which
isn't he
I
r
do enjoy.
in a feud with Jet Speed?
Ricochet,
Yeah,
kind of, yeah. They're now
because
they're kind of spinning off into the tag titles.
if you ever wanted to try to get the belts off of the Hurt Syndicate without beating them, you can make that a three-way tag
Mhm.
title match.
I have Gates of Agony win. Huh? Huh? Huh?
Sure, why not? I mean,
Yeah,
Jet Speed probably wins, but, Jet Speed as tag champs would be really cool.
that seems plausible. That's a three-way tag title match at All in Texas.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Have Bob and Shelton be the bases
Yeah.
for craziness? I think that works, and then you could just pin the other teams because obviously they're not losing, but it's a way to free up those tag belts in a way that I think are probably needed.
Yeah, I think I've been thinking about that with Hurt Syndicate, where it's like they came in as heels, especially Shelton Benjamin came in first, and then Bobby and MVP and all of them came in, and then they
They
were
hurt.
really good, great, in fact, so
Mhm.
great that the crowd immediately started loving them, and then they kind of
Yeah,
got a little baby
and
faced.
they were like, "How do we ruin this, MJF?"
Well, you say how they ruined it, but I will give MJF credit that
You
by
love
be part of the
his
group,
onesie.
he has made the group heel again, right?
That's true.
That was necessary for the group because they were getting baby faced, and that was not the intention. And MVP and Shelton and Bobby Lashley could not rewrite that ship. So instead, we just put MJF in there, and they're back to being heels. So it did. I'll give credit to MJF that he helped rewrite the ship of the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah. Hey, I will say MJF finally in a company where his talents belong this week. So good to see.
MLW joining the fight,
Let
picking
it
a
marinate.
side.
That was crazy, by the way.
That is a really cool thing to do. I
But
will say.
yeah, it is good for AEW to get their TNA though. I think that was what was missing from their like whole thing is that they needed a TNA version and they
Uh-huh.
got it, right? MLW is a good TNA version.
You would think it would be Ring of Honor, but no, it's not Ring of
And
Honor. Ring of
no,
Honor is
Ring of Honor is
NXT.
not a real brand. Exactly. It's a good point. And they're forever champion Athena. And it is NXT though. I think they're trying so what Ring of Honor can be, I've decided, right, is literally NXT. Like
Yeah,
they just have to make all the pay-per-views good like takeovers were because no one actually watched NXT television back then. I think that's the secret. Just
yeah.
make like, oh, Bandito versus Takeshita. Yeah, that's great shit.
Which they have largely been doing.
Yeah, the last one just hurt me.
That's
Whatever
why I
that
said
last
that's
one
why I said
was,
largely.
that last one was rough. It was also last year.
Sure.
Ring of Honor. What a brand. Isn't there 2 of them coming up in, like, the next, like, few months? Isn't, like, Death Before Dishonor, like, soon? Or
Um,
was that originally the Texas one and then they moved back Supercard?
I think it was that. I think that is what you're talking about.
ROH Wrestling.
They have Supercard of Honor right before All in Texas. That's July 11th, and they have Death Before Dishonor in Philly. I think that's
September 5th.
the
Oh, that's part
2300
of the
Arena.
23. Yeah, that's a good
And
spot for it.
that is September 5th. Indeed, yes.
I like the Death Before Dishonor logo. Don't really love the car no, I'm not going over designs right now. You can go to art class for that. Though I do like art.
You can go to art class for that.
Sometimes I just say things and I'm like, wow, I sound like a dick for no reason now.
uh, uh, did you actually say
Brian,
did you say what your
I'm just gonna say we went past 2 hours on accident again. No, I didn't. I never said my match of the week.
Yeah. Big pause. Real suspense. Drawing it out.
Did you watch Desperado vs. Kasai?
No,
We
not
talked
yet.
about it earlier. Okay.
No, yeah.
I've only heard match of the year from
Scotty,
everyone I
I
talked
was
to.
focusing on All Japan Champion Carnival.
Of course, of course, of course. You got to quality before. Sorry, right. Quantity before quality. I get it.
Yeah, that's definitely
Um,
how I would describe All Japan's Champion Carnival this
did
year.
you watch Kyle versus Kyle? Was that good?
Spoilers for my match
That's
of the
your match
week.
of the week. Got it. All right, my match of the week was Saori and Takumi Iroha versus Seika Katsuki and Sorayama. I didn't watch shit this week, but that was good. That was in Marvelous. It's see, I'm in the weeds always.
Yeah.
I don't watch anything else. I just watch in the weeds stuff or Saori because part of the job, when you're when you're team Saori, you kind of got to do that
Well, she's
stuff.
also as we both said, the best women's wrestler of the year so far.
Yeah, well, that too. But yeah, and plugs. All right, here we go. Here we go. Lock in peep game. Lock in peep game. YouTube.com/@ScottEWrestling. That is my YouTube channel. That's where I post my Joshi stuff for the most part. Podcasts and so on. Have a new series coming out hopefully this week, if not in the coming weeks. Next week for sure. So not like this coming week, the week after, a beginner's guide to Marigold. So if people want to get into it, learn about it, especially ahead of tournament season, because their tournament's coming right around, as well as the 5-star Grand Prix, I will have that ready for you. It's pretty easy beginner's guide to put together. They have 1 year of history, so that makes my life easy. So yeah, keep an eye out on that. I will be doing the daily reviews for both the 5-star Grand Prix and the Dream Star Grand Prix again because I hate myself.
Oh my god.
I don't know like how instantly they'll be out this time around because one, I will not watch every show live, and two, I plan to have a job by then, so that will just be life. But they will be out and they'll be on the YouTube channel. So you want to follow that, youtube.com/@ScottyWrestling. I had an interview this week on Fightful.com with Chi-Chi, who, of course, is one of the young up-and-coming stars in Joshi. That was a lot of fun. She was an absolute class act. She also answered the entire thing in English herself, which was really, really cool. So if you want to get to know her, definitely check that out on Fightful. And I think that's it, Ryan. We'll obviously be back for Ring Post Radio next week, which is always fun. Big week of previews.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
whatever nonsense else happens this coming week. We don't have anything to review though, so that'll be interesting. But we did today, and we didn't even get to it, so shit.
I realized that we talked a lot about the sort of future, the back half of the year for like, these Japan companies and all these sort of things. Didn't bring up once. Didn't bring up once the new Aaron Wolf news. Do you have any thoughts on Aaron Wolf?
Give him the world title.
So
I'm all in on legitimacy. The
okay.
reason, like, I love
You're a big Inokiism guy.
Obviously. I mean, shouts
Sorry.
out, sorry, like, come on, that's part of my. I love Inoki. I like legitimacy, like backgrounds where you're Bolton Oleg, obviously a big one, right?
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Sari Yamaoka has like pretty talented amateur background, pre wrestling. She was ranked in high school and stuff, so like really love her work so far. And this guy's a big deal, Olympic gold medalist. It's a big freaking deal. I've never seen in judo, which is pretty crazy. They're clearly rolling him out very differently from others. He's going to have his debut on Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
They're now titling like the end for Tanahashi and the beginning for Aaron Wolf. It's like
they're probably going to wrestle each other.
That'd be awesome. Like this is the guy. You have to go with him. End of story. Like instantly it went, see Suji, see Umar, see all these guys. Like you got your answer, hopefully he takes to wrestling. Obviously, I think that's a big important part of this. Yeah. But really cool news. I think anytime you get someone legitimate or someone with a wrestling, judo, mixed martial arts type background, you get excited because of the potential, the natural potential there. And now that he's learning in New Japan, that's really cool. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And Bolton Oleg, my main event.
he's not living in the dojo, but he will still be training in the dojo
Right.
as well. I don't know if that's because he's also in college. I think still technically.
Ooh, would you like to hear what my friend's reaction was to Hiroki Goto losing the IWGP World Title?
Sure.
I just read the message. Gato, I will fucking kill you. All right.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I truly don't know
That's
much
not
about Aaron
me.
Wolf.
I will
Yeah, I
not kill
truly
you,
don't know
Gato.
much about Aaron Wolf. Obviously, he represented Japan
I
in
watched some
the
highlights.
yeah
Dude's a beast.
of his judo, of his training, of his wrestling stuff. How is he?
He's a big dude. Well, he's a gold medalist, Ryan.
Yes,
So he's
he
pretty
he
good.
he won gold in 2020 and silver in 2020, and then in 2024 he also won silver as well. So he's a multi-time medalist and a gold medalist, especially in the Olympic Games. Um,
Get him in
Pretty
the
good, pretty good.
yeah.
2017 he won the
Yeah.
world championship. In 2022 we won the Asian championship, or 2021 he won the Asian championship.
This is a man of true accomplishment.
Yes.
And now he enters the New Japan dojo. He's got 6 months to get ready, and I don't think they're young lioning him at
No,
all.
I think they're going to
In
be
any
another
way.
Oleg Bolton sort of situation, if anything.
Maybe more extreme because he's a gold medalist.
How excited are you for Oleg Bolton versus Aaron Wolf?
Oh my god, dude! That's the first match I thought of. I was like, I shit on New Japan a lot today, and we should have talked about Wolf. It would have got me pumped up again. That's the one.
That's
That's
the one.
the one. Those two are gonna grapple, and then just absolutely toss one another. It's gonna be like, yeah, that type of shit. So,
Yeah.
you might miss out on a Hikuleo, but you come back and you get real wrestlers. Sorry,
Please.
Talatonga.
Talatonga. How dare we?
Talatonga.
You get it. He's tall. He's tall.
Oh, he is? I had no idea.
I like to
Holy
imagine that he's not
shit.
actually tall. He's just like, because like in New Japan, everyone's like much on average shorter than like American
Yeah.
TV. I like to
You know what I
imagine
was thinking
he's not
about?
actually tall. He's just like normal size now.
I know we're not gonna talk about Night Champions, and
But yeah, we sadly out of time.
but I do need to say one funny thing. I like the idea that Solo Sikoa just has a New Japan World subscription. He's like, give me that shitty wrestler.
He's just
The only good one he liked was Jeff Cobb.
Yeah. Oh, we get it. Solo Sikoa, you just want to be in New Japan. We get it. Because he's
taking it all.
He's taking it all. Indeed. Well,
Let's go. Taking it all. Yeah.
My match of the week, of course. I watched all this Champion Carnival stuff, Scotty, and my match of the week, of course, is from AEW Collision.
No, wait a minute. My match of the week was from Joshi, and yours was from AEW.
Shocker.
Shit.
Well, I think for me the greater bit is, of course, that AEW. It could be that I'm a freakazoid, but it could also be that
you are.
I think it's funnier that AEW still is clearing a bunch of All Japan Champion Carnival matches that I watched. Now, granted,
that tells me you wasted a lot of your time.
Yeah, possibly.
What was the best match from Champion Carnival? Off the top of your head, don't look. I don't care.
The finals between Rei Saito and Kento Miyahara, which was I think it went 3 3/4.
3.5. I was like 10, 3.5 final.
Yeah, which is actually the same rating I gave to Kyle versus Kyle at Collision. Kyle Fletcher versus Kyle O'Reilly. 3 3/4. Kyle. Really fun, really good.
Good. Is Kyle Fletcher your favorite wrestler right now?
He's number 2 on the list.
Okay, that doesn't mean he's your favorite.
I really like him.
Like,
I think
your favorite doesn't have to be number 1.
we should, you know how in New Japan we have like a ranked young guys? We should do that.
Oh, you want to rank the AEW ones?
Yeah, I mean, because it's Takeshita, it's Fletcher. That's a good question. It's
Bandito.
Oh, I would throw in Bandito. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the AEW
Bandito
roster
might
list.
Be younger than I think Bandito's younger than Takeshita.
What are we counting as young
we're
guys?
Like cheating here, man.
What are we counting as young guys?
All right. Lock in, peep game. These are legitimately young guys that they have futures in this company. So, sorry, I'm not going to name names.
Are these day oneers or no?
No, well,
I agree.
We're going with the young core of this company right now.
Darby, MJF, Sammy Guevara, those pillars.
MJF will still be in. No, MJF will still be in because he's youthful, right? He's still youthful. Actually, no, he's already been world champion.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Okay.
Okay. Takeshita,
Okay, let me write this down. Where's
That's why I'm only
where's our
one at
New
a
Japan
time.
list? Let me write it with the New Japan list. Where the hell is it? Oh, here it is.
We were supposed to be done 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, and I really apologize, people. I really apologize because we were supposed
All right,
to. Because it's like we ended the show to say like, oh, we didn't have enough time for Night Champions, and we've got another 15 minutes, and we're about to do a
That's
whole
what we
other
do,
bit.
baby.
And
All right,
it really sucks.
I'm
So
going
you're
in
saying
alphabetical order. Bandito, you can keep Takeshita.
Fletcher?
I'm going down the Daniel Garcia. Do you want him in there? He probably should be. He's not proven yet, in my opinion.
Not a proven guy yet. Still young. Wasn't a day
I mean,
one.
most people would probably call Bandito and Takeshita proven, but yeah, just put him in.
I think Garcia counts. I think
Put him
Garcia.
in. I need someone to be last. Put him in.
How old
We
is
want
Brody
hologram
King?
in there?
How old is Brody King? Too old?
He's not young.
I would throw hologram in there.
Put hologram.
I would put
Shout
hologram
out.
in there, but I don't think I would put Commander in there. But he would
Okay.
count.
He's hurt, so we'll just not count him.
Yeah, okay.
Kevin Knight?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But Speedball
Kyle
is probably too old. How old is Speedball? 30 something?
Fletcher. Yeah, he's not it. Big Shotty? Lee Moriarty? No. All right.
Mike Bailey is 34. Definitely.
Big Shotty? Lee Moriarty? No. All right.
No.
Poor
I mean,
guy.
Lee Moriarty.
I like
Lee Moriarty should
too.
Lee Moriarty should maybe be in this.
He's an ROH pure. Put Lee Moriarty in there. I like Big Shotty, but they don't, so it's fine. No.
Hook.
Yeah, well, I do need someone to be last.
Should we put in Hook?
Yeah, you can put in Hook. They like Hook, kinda.
If we're matching up New Japan, we need one more person.
All right, give me a second. Wheeler, Utah.
Yeah, I guess Wheeler Yuta should probably be the other guy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
we got all the killers in there, not the pillars, but the killers.
The only other person I might throw out is Nick Wayne. I think
you can put him in if you want to, if that floats your boat.
How old is Beast Mortos? Can we put him in? I don't
know.
No,
you just said you couldn't put Commander in. But you can put the Beast Mortos in. He's 38.
Is Nick Wayne in, or do we replace him with somebody?
You can put.
I would like to replace him with Hook.
That's fine.
I think that's more interesting.
That's fine.
All right, Scotty. Should I share my screen for you so you can see it?
Yeah, share the screen. Let's just have this continuously be the most off the books podcast we've ever done.
What are you talking about?
I still haven't got to review Night of Champions.
I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry.
All right. What an official list. That's not my list. That's not my ranking.
I know it's not your ranking. I'm just putting it there so they have a.
You're flying down.
I'm trying to make it so it's a little bit easier to look at.
Though, you know what's funny? A lot of that's kind of in order. Okay. All right. Lock in, peep game. Number one for me. Takeshita.
All right, perfect.
Number two for me. I'm gonna go Bandito. I like Bandito more.
All right.
And then it's just gonna be Fletcher, so you don't have to change much after that.
I appreciate it.
Send Garcia to the hole.
Put him at the bottom just to see how he feels.
Put him at the bottom for now. Put Kevin Knight over hologram. I like Kevin Knight. Oh my god. These last four are
Moriarty, Wayne, Yuta, and Garcia.
I think I like Lee Moriarty. Yuta could be last. I think Garcia's over Wayne, and then that's my list. So really didn't like Garcia's title reign.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. So your list
Moriarty is just harmless to me.
Your list is Takeshita, Bandito, Fletcher, Knight, Hologram, Moriarty, Garcia, Wayne, and Yuta.
I don't think they'll get me hurt, right? I feel pretty good about that.
I think
top three is pretty strong. I think the top three in any order is correct.
Yeah, I do agree. I think I will go
Yours is literally in order right now.
No, I don't think it is.
Kevin Knight will be higher for you.
Kevin Knight, Garcia will be down, and Kevin Knight would be higher for sure.
And
Honestly,
then it could be
okay. Takeshita Fletcher.
Takeshita Fletcher.
I think I'm gonna go Takeshita.
Oh, we're deciding one. Okay.
I think it is Takeshita, then Fletcher, then Bandito.
Okay.
I'm just gonna throw Garcia at the bottom, and I am gonna bring up Knight.
Toe.
No, not Naito. Naito's a young guy. Then it's probably gonna be Hologram.
Okay.
That is the last four again.
Top 5.
I think we only swap Bandito.
The only swap is the one I expected.
Yeah. I mean,
and that's just because I like Lucha a little more than Fletcher.
I think Yuta's at the bottom.
Okay.
And
Wayne over Moriarty.
Yeah, I think Wayne over Moriarty. So mine is Takeshita, Fletcher, Bandito, Knight, Hologram, Wayne, Moriarty, Garcia, and Yuta. I think that's
the
right.
Most pushed so far out of these guys are the bottom two, by the
way. What does that say? What does that say? Who does that say about? I don't know.
I think it says they failed.
Is it they failed? Is it AEW failed? I mean, they got also pushed, especially Garcia, got pushed during the dark times of AEW. You know, that's there's something.
I mean, there. Garcia definitely was failed originally, and then by the time I don't know, who cares?
Yeah. Well, yeah,
that's list.
Good list.
Here's my WWE one: Braun Breaker. All right, I don't give a shit anymore.
All right. Well, that's that. Oh man, we're almost at 2:30. Can you believe it? Then okay, quickly. Then I'll give.
Can you believe it? Ooh, a CMLL one would be sick. Sorry,
CMLL one is going to be impossible. Every single person's on like under 25.
And then there's Mystico.
The grandfather of CMLL apparently. I don't know what that makes Atlantis Jr. All right, my plugs are going to be the following. Listen to Ring Post Radio wherever you get podcasts. I'm very sorry we did not get to their lead topic today of Night of Champions, but alas, these things happen, you know. And we even went over 2. And we just said we're strict on 2 hours, and it's a shame we didn't do that. But you know, if you still enjoy the conversation we had, even though we weren't able to get to our lead topic, I think you can enjoy the rest that Ring Post Radio has to offer. So please subscribe to Ring Post Radio wherever you get the podcast.
It's so cracked. We went 2.5 hours with no topics.
I know. We promised Night of Champions, and we never got.
You said last week. What if we just skip the week? Proceeds to go 2:30.
Hey, and I think that really speaks to how well we can have conversation, how well we can do our show, Scotty.
I didn't get any rants off. What a shame.
You got a couple.
Yeah, not a me rant.
I think you got a couple babies in there. I think that's fair. Listen to Ring Post Radio wherever you get podcasts. Listen to the rest of the shows on the Count Out Network. I have another show of the ballot coming out soon. Is it next week? Or I think it's 2 weeks from now.
Put on the board, yes.
Yeah, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. I will be discussing the Hall of Fame career of another new person on the ballot. And I will say that should I say who the wrestler is or who the guest is, Scotty?
Wrestler.
All right. The wrestler for that Wednesday's topic for July 9th, I've already said that as the release date, is going to be about, I think you're holding up, what is that, Suri?
Yep.
Not on the ballot yet. Interesting conversation to think about Suri if you put her on the ballot. How old is she?
Her case. She's not 30 yet, so
yeah, so we still got plenty of time, but interesting. She would really have to last a couple more years, I think, at this peak to really get a conversation going.
Not too worried about it.
Yeah. But July 9th, we'll have an episode about the ballot, about the Hall of Fame candidacy of one Mercedes Moné. So we'll learn and talk all about that.
I forgot to do this in front.
Moné.
That's right, Mercedes Moné.
I missed that song so much.
Did I forget to play that? I should have played that. I should have played that on the show.
Oh, that shit was so real.
But yeah, Mercedes Moné, that's the conversation.
Moné.
July 9th on the ballot. Wednesday, right before All in Texas. Nice little action.
One day I'm going to take time to give us a bunch of new sounds. I will. I
I
promise.
texted you.
I know
one,
you did. I looked at it. I got lazy.
but it was a good one, right?
It was.
That
There's
one,
a lot of good ones that we want.
That one legitimately should be on there. That's one that I'm like, I'm pushing number one to the list of like, this sums up our show, I think.
I don't
well,
remember
maybe not
all
the
the
person
others
who's saying it, but yeah, but I digress.
I want to get the one where Kevin Owens said that Braun Breaker should be arrested for his tan.
Yeah, that one's funny. The problem with that one is I don't know how we can use it that often.
No, we couldn't.
It's really just
fun.
Braun Breaker's on screen, I guess.
Kevin Owens also told Matt Cardona to shut the hell up.
I like that.
Funny.
That one.
That was a good interview. That was a funny interview.
Scotty, I think we should have the Matt Cardona should shut up.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, that's a good one. Oh man.
Yeah, well, that is there's other plugs. Yeah, that's the Wednesday show. It'll be July 9th, Mercedes Moné. Next week we'll be back all
Money.
We'll be back.
You know what? From now on, every time you say her name moving forward, that's getting pressed.
Okay, great. Next week we'll be talking about a lot of stuff. Big preview week, July 6th will be the next
name
episode
the stuff.
Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor, Saturday night's main event, WWE's Evolution show.
Great American Bash.
Great American Bash. Well, maybe we'll talk about it. I don't know. I don't doubt we're gonna review it. And of course, preview All in Texas. Such big matches as Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada, Young Bucks versus Ospreay and Swerve, Hangman Adam Page versus Jon Moxley, and of course, for the women's title, Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné.
Money.
I wondered if you were going to continue the bit or change the song to do something else, to do a swerve. Do we have the swerve song as a clip? I don't remember if we do. Yeah. You know, Ring Post Radio is if anyone's learned anything from Ring Post Radio is that we're really good on maintaining our bits. That is it for this week's episode of Ring Post Radio. We appreciate everyone for listening, and we are sorry. But maybe we're sorry about missing out of champions. Maybe we'll talk about it next week. Wink. Until then, next week, we'll talk to you all later and enjoy your Taco Bell.